Coast Detroit. As the sun begins to set, two of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder.
Welcome into Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder on the Woodward Sports Network.
Yes!
We're back, baby!
Wednesday.
Wednesday. It is technically like a Tuesday for the boys here. Detroit Lions, listen, nothing's changed here. The Detroit Lions are still NFC North champions.
NFC North champs, 11-4.
I could say that a million times, and it never.
Can you give me it one more time, Booner?
The Detroit Lions are the NFC North champions, the division champs, baby.
That's what I'm talking
We haven't heard that
about.
in 30 years.
That's what I'm talking about, Booner.
30 years, man. It is crazy.
How cool is it just to be a part of this? Whether it's us in the show, the chat, like it's everybody. But the fact that I don't know, we just get to be in the middle of it. I feel #blessed.
I think.
What?
I think about it like this, like guys like Maz and people who have been in this industry for a while and kind of who were around for the early 90s with those Barry teams and that, they tell stories like that's when they got started and that's when their career kind of took off and started going through all of that and they started meeting people. And now I'm looking at kind of our careers where we're starting to show and we're doing this for the people, with the people, about the people.
This is the beginning of those.
And it's a start, and it's like we're doing this ourselves. We had this conversation before. You guys know the video I had that Amon-Ra and Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes all saw. Like, you spoke with Amon-Ra St. Brown today.
I did, and I can confirm Amon-Ra St. Brown knows Booner.
He knows who Booner is.
Knows Booner officially.
He officially knows who I am. And it's like that, just that scenario, like in 30 years, we're all able to, even the listeners, you guys are able to be like, hey, we watched Woodward Nights and Booner, who was able to interact, and with the best wide receiver, the best weapon on this football team, the first division champion in 30 years. Like,
yes,
that is mind blowing.
Have you caught Armani and Edwards with Maz this week, which is Sean Belizean's filling in for him?
Yes.
Armani and Edwards, and there was Terry Foster yesterday, and Shepard today.
Yep, Shep was in today.
But the way. And all three of those are incredible, but the way Sean Belizean tells stories and just how he talks about his memories from the '91 season, like his whole career, like that's us. That's the beginning of us right now. Like, these are the stories that we're going to tell in 30 years.
Sean's been working here for a long time.
Yeah.
First time I met Sean actually this week.
Really?
I was in the back because typically he's in during the day and I'm always at work. So he was in the back, and first time I got to meet him and the stories he was telling us about that, like he instantly, man, he's an elite at what he does, man.
Yes.
Shout out to Sean.
Like Amon-Ra.
Just like Amon-Ra, and hopefully we can be one day. All right, appreciate you guys locked in here. We've got a full crew, full show for you guys. My name's Booner, as always. Matt Broder, Detroit Lions beat reporter. We got KG over there, holding it down in the TD booth, as always. And we've got Nick over there in the sound booth, filling out the crew.
Let's go!
You should unmute yourself, man. I don't hear you in my ear here.
Let's have a
There we go.
night. Hopefully that wasn't loud for all the listeners right there. Let's go. Let's have a night. Woodward Nights still buzzing on these Lions. Let's roll.
Just want to throw it out there. When you did the Let's Go, I'm pretty sure you were muted for the Let's Go.
Yeah, I think I was.
Hit him with it one more time. Well, we need it.
Let's go!
All right, there we go. Yeah, we've got a packed show, though. We're going to get into everything. I mean, Broder was in Allen Park today, a full day. Talked to players, talked to coaches, saw some practice, so we're going to get into that. We do have, at the end of the show, if you guys have not already, we are announcing the winner of the Jahmyr Gibbs jersey giveaway. If you haven't entered yet, go to our Twitter, at Woodward Sports, or Instagram, at Woodward Sports as well, and go. All you have to do, I think, is just retweet, like, and subscribe to the YouTube page. And at some point in this show, probably at the end of it, I'll probably shoot a text over to Kool-Aid and see if he chooses the winner and who it is.
In that 9:40 segment?
So you have about an hour and 40 minutes to go there if you have not already to enter for a Jahmyr Gibbs giveaway. We'll give that away at the end of the show here. Maybe if we get to 150, that's the 150 thing. Is, hey, let's give away the thing.
That's up to
you.
you.
We might have to push
Call
it
it.
back. All right, let's get this thing rolling here. First of all, first thing I want to talk about.
Yeah.
The Detroit Lions broke another team. Did you guys see this?
This is What a wild story.
KG, can you throw the picture? I threw it in there at the end of Sean Payton and Russell Wilson. I had we can't play the video because the video, I don't want to get copyright.
Yeah, give me 1 second.
But I had the picture of just a screenshot a couple weeks ago when the Broncos won 6 of their last 7, and then all of a sudden they come into Detroit thinking that they're going to have this little playoff run, get things going. The Detroit Lions shut it all down. They broke those guys. I put a tweet out a couple weeks ago about it as well, and then today, and he got benched. Russell Wilson got benched. And it all started and went downhill from the Detroit Lions.
Doesn't matter if you have one ass cheek and 3 toes. I will beat your ass.
The clause in his contract.
And look at that. That is the start of the downfall of Russell Wilson in Ford Field in Detroit.
Let him cook.
And so did you hear the whole story? Like this has been in the works for a couple weeks.
Yes.
And this might have been the breaking point, but this is something they talked about. I think it was October 29th. They've been trying to negotiate with him to take the clause out of his contract of what is it? Basically, it involves how much he plays. Let me double check on this, but he refused to give up the what is it? Oh no, it's if he ends up injured.
Yeah, it's all
then
guaranteed.
It's all guaranteed.
And if he's not injured,
so because he's not injured now, they bench him. They bench him for the last 2 weeks. There's no chance that they have to pay that $37 million.
Yeah, it's a smart move on the Broncos. I mean, other teams have done it. Jimmy G had it done to him. I believe last year. Was it Baker that had it done to him in Cleveland? There's just a couple of different guys who have had that happen to them, and it's just the way it kind of works out to where it's like, hey, if you're not going to make the playoffs and you have a guy that's worth that much money, it's like there's no reason for you to play if there's no chance. I mean, they have to literally have like a miracle. I think they have like a 2% chance of making the playoffs or something like that.
The fact that there's something a little, I don't know.
I think they sat down with Russ, if I'm being honest, and they said they put this, and he was like, "I'm not gonna waive it, obviously."
And the NFLPA was involved.
Yeah, and it's like, but at the end of the day, it's like Russ probably understood as well, and I'm sure he's gonna play for the Broncos next year and play a full season. They're gonna try and go to the playoffs. I just think it was just like a business decision on both sides, maybe, and then it was Russ was probably like, "I have no leverage here, so I'm just gonna have to sit out." That's my guess.
Would you want to play for the Broncos if they are keeping $37 million from you?
No, but I mean, what do? You sign a contract, and once you sign a contract, man, the team has at some points they have leverage, man. And what do you do at that point?
Yeah,
like it's like if I signed a contract somewhere and it's like I don't want to like. There's guaranteed money if I don't do this and then this happened. It's like it's tough. It's a business, man.
It's a business, man.
And I mean, they could have just been in the like he could have just probably played better. I did see something where it was like his stats right now and ending it is like all better than Lamar Jackson's right now or something.
Yeah, statistically he's had a pretty solid season. Which makes it the fact that they still have a chance is a little sketchy, but
and in
what
the
are you
chat
gonna do?
here,
Move
the
on. I'd
Woodward
be
Sports
pissed.
chat. Appreciate you guys all tuning in. Lorena said, "Booner, losing to the Lions has nothing to do with it. It's all about the cap space." Well, yeah, I do know that. Yeah, I'm not.
But the Lions are breaking people this year.
They are breaking people.
They broke. Who got fired earlier in the season?
Josh McDaniels
after the Raiders game. It wasn't immediately after the game. Brandon Staley
That was a close one. That Brandon Staley. If he lost the week before, he would have got fired probably.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That was just crazy. I saw that come through today. I know Neil had a field day with that on BDE today because he's a big
I missed
Russell
BDE
Wilson
today.
hater. It was a great show. BDE was really good today. Iffy Melifonwu. Did you guys see this? The NFC Defensive Player of the Week. Congratulations, Iffy Melifonwu. Well deserved too, by the way. He's had back-to-back weeks. You could argue last week he put numbers up as well to kind of even compete with that. But you see it there in the whole NFC.
That's
5
epic.
tackles, 2 sacks, 2 pass deflections, 1 interception. That's not even counting quarterback hits as well. There's more stats involved in that, bro.
Sensational.
And just the fact how much he's contributed to the last 2 Lions wins. Like this defense looks. I know it's only 2 games, but it looks completely different, completely revamped, and it's still missing so many key players. So for him to be able to do this is bringing out the best in a lot of his team. Kirby Joseph, Brian Branch is playing well. Having a playmaker like this on defense is huge.
We've got throughout the show too. I'll do this too. I'll tell you guys what we're doing today because Broder was at Allen Park, and we just spoke about Iffy. At 8:30, we're actually going to talk about the secondary. We're going to talk about AG and Iffy Melifonwu. AG. he had a lot of comments about the secondary today. It felt like all of the questions almost were kind of towards, hey, what's going to happen with CJ? Like kind of reframing that secondary. We're talking that at 8:30, 8:45. We're talking your guy, Broder, Jared Goff. We're talking the offense and Jared Goff. I've been looking at numbers. I've realized Jared Goff's he's pretty damn good.
Yeah,
he's pretty good.
Oh,
Jared Goff, he's better than people give him credit for. So we're talking that 8:45, 9 o'clock overreaction Monday typically, but it's Wednesday today where we pushed it all the way back. 9:15 power rankings, 9:30. Penei Sewell. This is your segment. Penei Sewell versus Micah Parsons. And that defense.
I can't wait for that matchup.
I
cannot wait. One of the best. To me, the best offensive lineman in the NFL
versus the second best defensive lineman.
Yeah,
I want it.
TJ Watt's third. Updated odds, he's third behind Parsons.
Dude, he's starting to get the LeBron treatment. That's what's happening.
You think so?
Yes. He's gotten like 2 of the last 3. It's just, at some point they're like, we can't just give it to him every year.
What I don't get
we have to get these other guys the award.
The Steelers have been in flux kind of all season. You know, I don't even remember what record. I think they're maybe 8-7 or something, but their defense has been what's carried them all season. Like
yeah.
They would be a 1 in what week are we in? A 1 in 16 team. Is that where we're at? 11-4. Yeah, 1 in 15 team. A 1 in 14. Whatever the record, they would have 1 win without TJ Watt. He's so good, but he's third in the odds. Micah Parsons,
I don't
second.
Get it. I think he's clearly the best defensive player in the NFL. If I'm being completely honest, Nick, you had something over there?
Yeah, I'm not going to give it a positive horn because it's so negative. 38 seconds into this Red Wing Wild game, the Wild score again. Our goaltending woes continue. I will not blast this horn unless it's something positive, but wanted to update the people and you guys on the desk here.
What are those jerseys they're winning? What are those Minnesota Wild jerseys?
I've never seen them.
Are they like North Minnesota?
Maybe Christmas season. I don't know. They're
epic.
And did you guys see too as well Saturday night? Obviously the Lions in Dallas. Jimmy Johnson's kind of Ring of Honor ceremony, which well deserved as well. Troy Aikman on the call though, and Joe Buck.
They're throwing that Monday Night Football at Saturday Night Football.
I did actually mention that yesterday.
Yeah.
I just never put it together that it was Troy Aikman for the Dallas Cowboys with the Jimmy John. Like, what are we doing here, NFL?
Yeah.
We can't do that.
You know what they want.
Yeah, they want the Cowboys to go out and win this game.
Oh, for sure.
The script right now is like, the script's getting ripped up. A lot of people said I had the script last week because I almost had the correct score. They handed me the script this week. I ripped it up. Ripped it up. It's not happening. Lions are changing it. Also, too, and we're going to get into Dallas tomorrow. I don't think people realize last year the Lions, obviously they didn't. It was close for a little while until that fumble. Amon-Ra St. Brown didn't play that whole game.
Yeah. And the Patriots game, too, right? Those were 2 of the games he missed.
I'm just throwing it out there.
concussed first quarter.
If we want to talk about the Booner path and we want to talk about Dallas, all those people who are like, I'm not even going to watch. I've actually heard this. People are like, I'm not going to watch the game. I don't want to. Like, it's going to be a blowout. Like, Cowboys are going to win at home. They average 40 points per game at home. People are like, come on.
No.
Don't forget as well. Lions are 6-0 now with their whole offensive line, and they average about 38 points per game, 37 points per game with their offensive line.
Yeah, anybody who says who thinks it's going to be a cakewalk or a win by a wide margin, whichever way, they're just talking about what they want, not actually living in reality. I think it's a really good matchup.
Yeah, I remember Dan, Peaceful Tim put it in here. Dan in his press conference on Monday or Tuesday, he was like, we're going to win this one for Dallas. Or we're going to win this one in Dallas for Jimmy.
Yeah.
And he was like, for Jimmy Johnson.
Yeah.
Nick, what's up, man?
Was just going to say, how do you guys think the fix is going to be in for this one? Because we're just going to be able to run the ball consistently. A few phantom holding calls there. Maybe a couple hits on Dak, right when we get to him in a big crunch time sack,
Yeah.
We'll see how it goes. But like I said, just run the ball there.
The ref situation, too, that's going to be interesting. I think the Lions have gained respect for the refs to, not...
I agree. This season, for sure.
I have a feeling.
6-0 with that O-line, like we just said, and undefeated in primetime. Is that right, Broder?
I'm not saying it, but yes.
Are you trying not to jinx it?
No, I mean, we throw around stats all the time, but they are, what is it, 4-0?
You know what?
4-0 prime time.
Yeah. People do that to me all the time. They'll be
in the nighttime.
They'll be like, Booner, you're jinxing it. It's like, our job is to talk about the game. Like, we're gonna have to talk about this stuff. Like, I have people, like friends and stuff are like, oh, Booner, don't. Like, my job is to bring this stuff up. I'm the one that's not jinxing
You
it.
got to tell the people so that they don't say it.
Yes.
You have to be the one to take it. Take it for the team.
Yes.
You are America's team, Booner.
Hey, I'm a man of the people. All of you guys in the chat right now, Booner Path, man of the people. Appreciate all of you guys. All right, we're going to go to break. Do we have anything else that we wanted to kind of go through here, Broder? Am I missing anything?
No, I would hope that you guys stayed throughout the entire show. It's going to be a banger.
A banger.
Yes.
Project X style.
Go Blue.
All right, go Blue. Oh, yeah, we are talking Michigan a little bit later in the show as well. All right, let's get to break. I'm going to tell you guys about Lady Jane's. When we come back, we're going to talk about the Detroit Lions injury report here out of Allen Park. Broder has some stuff for us, I think. Maybe there's a concern I have.
Decker.
Yep, I have a concern. Well, you just gave it away.
Yep, sorry.
I was teasing it for the people to come back, but there's concerns.
Foreplay is dead like chivalry.
There's concerns. All right, come to Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience. Register to win a trip of your dreams and all expenses paid suite for the 2024 NCAA tournament. That is right. No expenses spared for you and 5 of your best buds. You can take the crew with you. Woodward Nights, if you want us to come with you to the Final Four, we're on our way. That is Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, open 7 days a week, walk in anytime. It is wicked awesome.
Also, drafting is a complicated business in professional sports. Do you take Jamarcus Russell over Calvin? Do you take Darko over Chris Bosh? Do you take Stanley Johnson over anybody in the draft? Let me help you out. Jack Labrador should be your number 1 overall stocking stuffer pick this year. 1 deck, 3 games, less than $20. You'll love your Jack Labrador pick more than you love Cade Cunningham? Killian Hayes. Well, most people don't like Killian, but draft like Brad Holmes. Draft at jacklabrador.com now or scan the QR code above.
Calling all landscapers. This is Darren McCarty. I'm at Outdoor Equipment Co. How would you like to landscape like a legend? How about a bad boy zero turn? And even a chainsaw. And even a weed whipper. Whether you landscape for your job or landscape for fun, get all your equipment from Outdoor Equip Co., the official equipment provider of Woodward Sports. Michigan grown, family owned. OutdoorEquipCo.com.
Now, coming to Woodward Sports, Woodward and Main Street, the Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions Show. Let's go! Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com. Join Woodward Sports' own Jeff Iafrate along with special WSN guests for the most anticipated Lions season in decades. Filled with different surprises and expert analysis. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m.
Your home is your most important asset. Flexibility in the sales process is key. When you work with Mark White and Associates, you can cancel at any time, for any reason, without penalty. Speaking of flexibility, check this out. Who you work with matters. Hire the best broker in the game.
Join Woodward Sports and Long Drink live every home game at Eastern Market Shed number 5. It's always the best. It starts before the game time and it heads right up until the opening kick. The official Lions tailgate is back and better than ever. How would you like to pregame it with Woodward Sports? We got food, we got drinks, we have entertainment. Just get your ticket online at bullseyeeventgroup.com.
All right, welcome back into Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder on the Woodward Sports Network, woodwardsports.com, wherever you are watching it. We appreciate you. We always do. Hit that like button for us. Let's get up to 50 here before the end of this segment.
What happened?
Patty Kane, baby.
Patrick Kane, baby. Let's go.
Kane. Back to
1-1?
you boys. 1-1 Red Wings. Tied it up.
Netted it.
Candy Cane.
Shout out Patrick Kane.
It's Christmas season. Patty Kane, he's having a good little stretch here.
He is. Wings need to get a couple here, to be honest. They need to get back on track.
Need a dub tonight, boys.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I'm not going to say they'll get one, but They're going to look good tonight.
There
1-1.
we go. Let's do it.
I'm not going to pull a Nick.
Playing the Seattle Supersonics?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right, we're going to get into this here. Some Detroit Lions stuff again. Hit that like button if you guys haven't already. Let's get to 50 before the end of this segment. This is what we're doing, Broder.
What are we doing?
Lions injury report.
Oh, yeah.
Did you throw it in there? Or do we have
did.
it?
I did.
Perfect.
Whenever you get a chance, I put it in a little late. So
Interesting change of events here for someone on the offensive line.
Yeah.
Taylor Decker,
Yes.
out of practice today.
Yes.
I believe it was his groin.
yes.
So I'm interested to hear what you have to say about it because we just said in the first segment, Lions are 6-0 with their whole defense or offensive line dominating, average like 37 points a game. Is this like what did you hear?
That's
in
a
Allen
stat.
Park
37
today?
points a game with
It's
their
around
offensive
there.
line.
Like before last week, it was like 37, 38.
Yes.
I don't know what it is now after this last win, but I'm sure it adjusted a little.
Yes. The unofficial word around Allen Park is he's still expected to play.
Okay.
So he was limited in practice yesterday, and it was a walkthrough. So take that for
Yes.
what it is. I think this is on a short week. He is banged up. It's week 17, going into week 17, and he's banged up. So my gut, from talking to some of the other guys around Allen Park, is that he will play. He will play Saturday. They need him, but they're being extra cautious, and I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't practice tomorrow too, just to get back.
Let's get back to Taylor Decker. Let's just read this off real quick. So Brock Wright, no practice again today.
Yep.
Jason Kambinda, limited. He's back. CJ Garner-Johnson's still limited. I'm waiting to see a full practice tomorrow, Thursday for him.
That's when we'll know.
I'm really hoping so. Tomorrow it's full practice. Derek Barnes, full practice. Looks like he is back. Jerry Jacobs, full. He's back. Frank Ragnow, full. He'll probably get a rest day tomorrow. And Penei Sewell, full. No issues. So really nothing. To me, it's just this Taylor Decker thing, man.
Yeah.
And it sounds like to you, like around Allen Park, he's going to be going. That's my biggest worry. I want every offensive lineman playing on Sunday or Saturday night, especially a short week. And he's been out for limited yesterday, and all of a sudden
And Taylor Decker, I don't know if this has been his best season or his worst season, but he's still kind of an underrated player on this Detroit Lions team. And I don't mean to say that. I'm going to say this without trying to slander him. I think if there's any one of the big four offensive linemen, and shoot, you could throw Graham Glasgow in the big five, who you could not sacrifice for a game, but sort of fill in a little easier with Penei Sewell's ability to slide over and so many of their abilities to play tackle, like Dan Skipper and whatnot. I think
still makes me nervous.
Yes,
I'm gonna be honest, dude.
That's sort of what I'm trying to weasel around that. Like it's a big deal that he's out, but they can weather this storm. You don't want him out for an extended period of time. You really don't want him out against the Cowboys because of their pass rush, but it is what it is. We'll see tomorrow if he comes back.
Doesn't it feel like you know how Frank sits out because of that toe? It feels like it's that situation to where today it was like, hey, we're just going to sit him out for cautionary. And
it feels like that.
Frank rest.
It feels like that because it's his groin and not his ankle was banged up earlier in the year. I think his back was banged up because it's a groin. I'm not gonna go that far yet, but you might be right. I mean that is what it feels. Just all right, take the full day off practice. Don't even try to push it. They don't have to worry about Taylor Decker learning the offense or knowing what to do. He's the longest running Detroit Lion on the team, right?
Yeah, and he is. Yeah, and I do want to. A thing I kind of want to think about here, and I'm going to have to do some film and watch some stuff this week, is Micah Parsons. Does he just line up on that side?
No, he's all over the line.
Okay, so
he's left, right, up the middle. He plays everywhere.
That's different because now if Taylor Decker is injured or he doesn't play, now you're in for all right, here we go, fellas.
I wonder if at some point in the future, a guy like Penei Sewell can play both sides. If you have two of those. Well, I guess you wouldn't need to flip it. Imagine if you could just follow it. Like, you're your offensive lineman. I know you can't do that.
That would be nuts.
Yeah, you know how batters in the batter, you're allowed to switch like one time per at bat if you can bat right or left.
I mean, what would happen if you could do that? It would just be Micah Parsons running back and forth and Penei having to run back and forth.
That's what they had to do when there was a ambidextrous pitcher who could pitch with his left and his right hand, and so there was a clip that went viral. It was in the minor leagues of the batter would just keep switching sides, and the pitcher would just change his glove. And eventually, they had to put in this rule like you can only switch once. You have to declare which side you're batting on. It's funny, but yeah, no Taylor Decker today. Hoping he's good for Saturday.
This is a game you want him. Micah Parsons, you want him, and we're going to get into at 8:45. We're going to talk about this offense. I have a couple things in regards to the offense I want to talk about too when it comes to this game, but that's something big. I did want to ask too while you were in Allen Park.
Oh yeah,
vibes just in general. I know the vibes here are good. The Booner path is very well alive. There are dandelions and roses growing on each side of it. I want to know the vibes in Allen Park. And I know I heard Ben Johnson say today, you guys are going to hear a clip later. He at the end of the clip, he was like, Dan Campbell made it very well known at the beginning of the week, we're moving on and we're going to Dallas. What are the vibes like?
Just that. Business as usual. They're focusing on Dallas. They had fun. I think, what was it, Sunday night celebrating the victory. But they came in, like I said, Monday off. They came in Tuesday ready to go, and that was the message from the beginning. No complacency. They got to keep moving forward. They're going for this 2 seed. Like that's the message. They won their NFC North title. Now they can control their own destiny getting the 2 seed.
Yep.
They need some things to happen to go get that 1 seed, but if they win out, they get the 2 seed. And that's their goal. That means there are 2 guaranteed home field games at Ford Field. Yes.
Yeah, Tuesday. He said it Tuesday in his press conference. He was like, listen, like we had that question all last week. What happens when you win the division? Where does Dan's mind go? Right away. 2 seed. Go beat Dallas because we have a chance at the 2 seed.
Yeah.
He's very aware. Players are very aware. That's why I think they get the job done, is because this team, like when they get caught lacking? Is that the term nowadays?
Yeah, you got it.
When they get caught lacking a little bit, like a random week like the Ravens or the Seahawks or like the Bears or the Packers, like it's just one of those weeks where it's like, hey, we might not have much to play for, but like we still need to win this game. They've got caught slipping a little bit. Now when you come into this week, there's something on the line. The 2 seed is on the line. When that happens, that's the biggest, I think, when this team shows up the most. Let's go to this next thing here, too, because I wrote this down. I heard a lot of people talk about it today. The injured reserve list. You got C.J. Gardner-Johnson, Aleem McNeil, James Houston. What are the vibes in Allen Park? These guys coming back, like, are they playing this week? Is Aleem almost back? Because after this week, he's available. I'm correct?
Yes. So he's not going to play this week.
James Houston.
Not going to play this week.
Rumor was last week, though, he's going to be back at practice this week.
He might get his clock started this week,
Oh
so
my
I don't
gosh.
know
Please give
what
us
their
that
strategy is. It will look, I think they're off Friday, but they could still start the clock. Although I don't know if that makes sense. Maybe I don't know. He's not going to be playing this weekend. Still unconfirmed. I don't know if C.J. Gardner-Johnson. I don't know if C.D. Deuce is going to be playing, but we got to wait for that full practice. Like that, they just haven't. They haven't given that. Hey, they need him back, and they would need him back for this game. But the emergence of Iffy, the NFC North Defensive Player of the Week, how Brian Branch is playing, how Kirby Joseph is playing. This is totally just in my head. No coach has said this, but they do have the ability to take it a little slower if that's how they choose.
Yeah,
I'm not saying that's the right thing or wrong thing.
I do get that, but like I was hoping, like, especially with like the James Houston one, I felt like from when that happened going forward a couple weeks into that, it was like, hey, James Houston probably would be back before C.J. Gardner-Johnson. That was kind of the vibe I took. So I was hoping, like, okay, Dallas is that goal week, to know that things are progressing correctly, that he's going to be able to come back for the playoffs. I was like, all right, Dallas is that week to maybe he starts to get in. And
Houston or C.D. Deuce?
James Houston. And we just haven't heard it. Like, we saw, like a month ago, we saw him back in the practice facility out there doing work. And I was like, okay, this has to be a sign. Like, Dallas is in 4 or 5 weeks. Like, we're going to... Haven't heard anything.
Yes, but
have not heard anything.
This is where it gets... He's still on schedule. Like, I don't know if it's a week early or a week late, but he's still right where the expected recovery time frame was for his broken fibula. C.D. Deuce is 3 months early. Like, he tore his pec. He's supposed to be out for the season. He came back in 95 days, and although you can still a torn pec, the surgery just needs to heal, and you just need to get stronger. Like, you are able to recover faster, but it's now the recovery of his body going through a football game. I would love to see him play at Dallas, even if they aren't committed to making him a focal point, really working him in, get him out there for a couple series so he can experience this recovery now. He can hit some people. He can go through the game, warming up go through the whole game scenario, and then have this whole week to recover and see how his body recovers from that versus using week 18 as that.
I think here in the chat, Peaceful Tim said, give us more, Broder. I think you're holding some from us.
No, I promise. Believe me, I would share everything if everything I can share, I would.
All right. So do you have
what I can't do is say something that I don't know, and if it doesn't, that's where my credibility goes like this.
That's fair. Yeah, no, I think getting a guy like James Houston back. I know the Heavies had a little poll up as well
that was fun.
Today that said, like, if you could take one guy off the IR, take the injury away and put him back in right now to this team, who would you do? Personally, I ended up going James Houston, just because of this defensive line, like the problems, like you said, the safety room. You've had Tracy Walker, you have Iffy, you have Brian Branch, Kirby Joseph. CJ is that heart of the team. I've been very vocal on how big of an impact CJ is for this football team, but position-wise, need that defensive line, man. Think about some of these games you've lost if you just had another edge rusher. And I know people are like, well, he didn't do anything before he got hurt. They were playing him at the mic before he got hurt. If you didn't play him at the mic and you just said, hey, go out there and rush the passer, go back to your normal edge position, I think things are different this year for James Houston.
That's what makes it
my
tricky.
opinion. I could be wrong.
That role is needed the most. I know we didn't see it for the first game and quarter, but it's tough. That role is needed the most. I'm hesitant. I kind of want to say Emmanuel Mosley.
Because the corner thing, yeah. That makes sense as well.
This was the beginning of the season or a couple weeks ago, and we didn't know how well the safety group was playing. That would be my home run. That would be my 100% certain pick. But with how they're playing, I think you could maybe get away with not having your number one cornerback if you have a guy like James Houston playing like he did at the end of last year. Nick, what you got?
Yeah, I remember he was in coverage a little bit for that Seattle game, especially that one. But in the first game, he actually had Mahomes at the knees, ready to tear him down. He had a big QB hit when we did send him, so he still has it in him to definitely get to that quarterback.
Him in coverage, though, like that was
they need
issue.
sacks. The sacks are. If you don't get sacks, you're hated. You're the demon.
It was a big play in the game against Kansas City.
I'm fucking with you.
But the thing is I think what really hurt him compared from last year, and I think it was like he's getting back in coverage. He's playing that Mike position where it's like he never did before. Do you remember? And I said this before on the show. Like, if you guys watched the Deion Sanders stuff, the documentary, when he was at Jackson State. Do you remember when James Houston was getting drafted, or when he was kind of that year? Deion was like, "Listen, like I know you want to play linebacker, but you're going to be an edge rusher in the NFL. If you want to get drafted and go in the NFL, we have to play you at edge rusher." And that was what Deion did at Jackson State. That's what got him drafted. I don't know, like maybe what was going on in the facility, or AG was kind of thinking with that. Maybe he had an idea and a plan and a vision. It just felt like to me, moving him away from what he was great at last year might not have been the right thing, and that killed him to start the year.
Right. I think they just wanted him. They wanted him to be the most versatile outside linebacker possible, who could be out on the field for 3 snaps, regardless
of playing him situationally.
Yes, but someone who is that good at rushing the passer, like if he comes back, we talked about it I think yesterday. Just go get the quarterback. Don't mess around with any coverage stuff. Just even if it's just third down, just bring him in. Go get the quarterback and get off the field.
You're taking away his best part of his game.
Yeah,
like that's all you were doing, and that's what it felt like. And it was in certain snaps, you're taking that away from him. And I felt like every time he's on the field, you need to let him rush the quarterback.
Line him up opposite Hutch and let that dude absolutely eat.
Let him eat.
Can't wait for it.
All right, let's hit break. When we come back, we're gonna get into this Lions defense some more. Kind of a little tease there when we were talking about that. We're gonna talk about that secondary iffy. AG had a couple statements about Iffy Malafanu and the secondary, and we're going to get into that real quick. The Lions pregame show, Woodward Sports Lions pregame show this Saturday. Time has changed. On there, you see 9:30. It is not at 9:30. It will be 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. this Saturday. You guys do not want to miss out. I believe it's me, Jeff Frady. I think Pete and I think Gentry will be here for the pregame show. So we have a squad here to break down this Cowboys game, prime time, Saturday night football, and then we'll do the stream right after.
Maybe I'll show up.
Yeah, no, don't. Stay home.
No, for the pregame.
Live stream.
Stay home.
Okay.
For the live stream.
Stay out.
Last time you were there was the Ravens game.
Yeah.
Stay
it's
home.
also there for the Chiefs game. No, but you're right. I'm talking about the pregame. Stay out.
All right, Big Boy. Winter time in Detroit. It is always better with comfort foods from Big Boy. Try the veal parmesan or the new Southern Comfort Chicken Bowl. How about breakfast? They have the stuffed potato pancakes. They are back. I had them. Unbelievable. The classic lumberjack or the Santa Fe garden. They also have the new apple pie hotcakes that are too good to miss. Top it all off with the new gingerbread shake for dessert, and make sure you stop over by your local Big Boy today.
Have you ever wondered where all the finest restaurants get their steaks? It's Fairway Packing Company, providing Michigan restaurants, hotels, and casinos with prime beef for over 60 years. But now you can buy these cuts of meat for yourself at the Steak Shop by Fairway Packing Company. Prime porterhouse, A5 Japanese New York strip steak, dry aged Wagyu beef tomahawk. Delicious. Get to the Steak Shop today. Enjoy fine wine, have a private party, and get the finest cuts of meat anywhere. The Steak Shop on Mack Avenue in Grosse Pointe Woods, or order online, fairwaypacking.com.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy?
It's Planet Fitness.
Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime.
Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, two of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder.
What happens when you run a great business for over 50 years? You expand, you offer more products to more people. That's exactly what Les Stanford did when they added Les Stanford Buick GMC. They got the same great service that customers have come to know and trust. They're located on Woodward Avenue just south of 9 Mile. You can also check out their flagship dealership in Dearborn today. Find the brand you want, lesstanford.com.
Les Stanford. All right, welcome back. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder on the Woodward Sports Network, woodwardsports.com, all of that fun stuff. If you guys haven't yet, hit that like button for us. Let's get, I think we're over 50 already. Let's get 75 here before the end of this segment. Let's keep those likes coming. Let's beat out the other shows with that. We have the best chat in at Woodward Sports,
in the industry.
Ornery U of M dad said it right that time, right?
Yes, yeah.
He said, when is Booner's Power Parlay Pick segment? Friday. Oh, no, actually, it will not be Friday. It will be Saturday for
on the pregame show?
Detroit Lions pregame show. I always give it out there. I'll have the legacy play as well.
But do you allow them to get laid on this show on Fridays? Do you do any parlay?
Get laid. Okay, I see what you did there.
Laid.
See what I did there?
Yeah, I'm not getting
You
laid.
don't do bets on the show anymore?
We do bets, but it's just more so it's legacy play and parlay will be.
That's the big Booner segment on the pregame show.
I did go back to the last two pregame shows and bets. 13-0 the last 2 weeks and hit both of the parlays plus 500 each. 13-0 and plus 500 parlays, two of them. That's nuts.
Like, you know what? Never lost. Let me hit that.
Yeah, this is literally like a run of a lifetime. It's insane. Get those likes up. If we average 150 from now until Friday, we will give out another $15 parlay for free. And Ornery Michigan Dad or whatever the name is, I keep messing it up. He already won some money. I do have to send that still. Don't forget.
Oh, that's
Booner.
what you forgot.
Yeah, don't forget Booner. I've had a long day, man. Today's been long. All right, let's get into this. We're just talking now. Let's get into it. Detroit Lions defense versus Dallas Cowboys. AG, biggest story of the week, Broder, is this secondary. Potential return of C.J. Gardner-Johnson. I'm kind of shocked we're not talking about this defensive line heading into this week, but everyone is just focused in on this secondary with Ife Melifonwu. I want to start us off by playing the video of AG, just talking about Ife Melifonwu and what he's brought to this defense, kind of what he can do. If anyone didn't know as well, he got drafted as a corner. And he came over as a corner, and that's something that Aaron Glenn in the past has, like, he's taken corners and has put them into safety positions, and it made that transition very, very easy. So here's AG. You got that, KG?
Yep.
AG talking about Ife Melifonwu.
Like, if he understands exactly what he's doing now, and I'm not saying he didn't before, but, man, it's just.
We'll be back in 1 second.
AG.
Gonna give it a try again?
All right, let's try this one.
Here we go.
He's so comfortable in that position of being safety. That's what I mean when I say now. Because that transition is not easy for everybody, because now you go from a single focus guy to, man, I got to see the field. And that's what he's done a really good job of. And I tell you what, if you watch this player in practice, when we go through some of our blitz looks and things like that, man, he does a hell of a job blitzing. And you see why he have the sack production he's had over the last couple of weeks. So hopefully he can continue that trend. And hopefully for us as a defense, we continue the trend of getting takeaways because you see them coming in bunches now. All right. And I think they've been like keys to how we've operated throughout the games as far as getting these victories. So,
all right, you guys kind of heard it there, him kind of speaking about Iffy. And he did say, too, I don't know if you guys kind of caught that. He was like, Iffy's kind of starting to get a feel for what's going on, and he has a feel for the game. Being in that safety spot, I think anyone transitioning from corner to safety, you're going to have a little struggles. But a guy like AG who's done that with guys already and has proven it, he's been elite at it, and he's been playing at a high level. He's got the feel for being a ball hawk, kind of making plays, coming off the edge, getting sacks. He's gotten, 3 sacks in the last 2 games.
Speaking of, Booner, I got a question for you, courtesy of Mr. Chuck Brewer in the chat.
All right.
Booner, what are the odds that if he finishes the season with more sacks than Hutch?
What is Hutch at right now?
I think 6.
Yeah, 6.
6.
I mean, it would be like plus 10,000.
Yeah.
There's no way. I mean, if it happened, that would be awesome. Like,
incredible.
Great for it. That means we're getting sacks. But there's 2 games left. He's at 3 on the year, I believe. So he needs 3 in the next 2. I mean, he just did it. Hutch is going to get a sack this week, though.
That's
where I'm going.
The emergence of these other people, even though Hutch hasn't gotten through yet, it's going to lead to a Hutch sack. And maybe multiples. I know I predicted it last week. I'm not going to make any predictions.
You should just keep predicting it.
That he doesn't, so that other guys get it?
So that, just so, keep doing what we're doing.
Okay, we can do that. But even more reason why Hutch might get one, their offensive tackle, their left tackle, Tyron Smith, he didn't practice today. I think he's been out the last 2 days.
That's who I was thinking of yesterday.
Yes, and the Cowboys.
He was out last week as well.
And Zach Martin, their starting guard, he didn't practice today at all. And their backup left tackle and right tackle, and I think he plays a little guard too, Chuma Edoga.
Okay.
He was limited in practice today with a toe injury, and he's not Frank Ragnow, so we know a toe injury may be lethal for him.
Yeah.
Not lethal.
How old is he?
I don't know. Chuma?
Is he as old as Frank? Maybe he has a toe issue like Frank.
I don't know.
Who knows?
Maybe inoperable. But so basically, their offensive line, they're beat up. They're beat up. I don't know if Tyson Smith's going to be playing this weekend. That would be a huge blow to their offensive line. That's the blind side. That's Michael Orr. That's Dak Prescott's savior right there. And Aiden, they can move him on both sides too. So we'll see.
Let him cook.
Last thing too, I did have another video of AG, and this one, you guys have heard this a ton, and it answers the question. And like I said, today's press conference was basically everyone just going like, "Hey AG, like what's going on with the secondary? Is CJ coming back? Where's he gonna go? Do we move someone to corner?" AG has the same answer every time,
which is why we need some more questions, some new questions.
We need to ask him some. I
didn't say that.
You should ask some.
Today I was the most prepared I've been in weeks.
Did you get a question?
For both the press conferences and the interviews, and I didn't get him in the press conference for. Did I ask Ben Johnson a question? No, I didn't get any into the press conferences. I got a question for Hutch, David Montgomery. I talked to St. Brown after, but
we need to start getting. We need Lions PR. Let my man ask some questions.
I have nothing
please.
to do with this.
Let him ask a couple questions. Let Broder get in the mix here a little bit. Come on now. All right, we've got this last video though here of AG, and he's just talking about the secondary, like best guy's gonna play, and then he kind of goes into a little spiel here about it, and heading into the thing, and I love kind of his response every week about
AG's
this.
Awesome.
So here's AG on the best guy playing in that secondary.
One guy over another. The best guy playing. Now listen, there will always be opportunities to get in, like all those guys on the field, and I know I'm saying it as a joke before, but listen, man, we want to get the best players on the field as much as we can, and that's my job to do that. And I promise you this, that will get done. It's just making sure that you don't disrupt, defense the way we've been playing it. And listen, I'm honest and upfront with every player that we've have, and I will always be that way. Coming from a former player, that's what you want from a coach. And every player knows that. So, but every player also knows I want to make sure that we get the best players on the field too. So I'll make sure that.
All right, Broder.
This is why they get paid the big bucks, Booner.
Yes.
Because the best player on the. How do you make that decision? Like with C.J. Gardner-Johnson and C.D. Deuce coming back from injury, how do you make that decision?
This is where I'm at with it. It's when it comes down to it, AG knows, and you guys heard him there. Best player plays. The best player plays. CJ Gardner-Johnson, we know who he is. One of the best players in the league, safeties in the league. We know what Kirby Joseph's about. We know what Brian Branch is about, and now we know what Iffy's about.
So what do you do?
Aaron Glenn,
do?
He will find a way to get these guys on the field all at once. Think about how scary that secondary is going to be. I don't care who goes to corner. I don't care who's in nickel. I don't care who's in any spot. Those 4 guys on the field with Cam Sutton, you find a way, and I think AG is going to find, knowing AG and the way he's been going he will find a way, because this defense has been playing at a different level than we've seen in the past. Boys, just think about that. If you can find a way to get all those guys, who goes to corner? Who goes to corner?
That's where I'm going next. Are you saying?
Do you put Iffy back to his original spot that he got drafted in?
I'll ask you this: is Iffy the best corner? Is he playing the best corner on the team, other than Cam Sutton? You can't say that yet. That's the tricky part.
But the thing is AG said it right there as well, or the video before was, if when we moved him to safety, he's playing like that is his natural spot. Like we found out that's his natural spot. He's playing his best football so if you while he's playing his best football, you're going to take him and move him back to where he was when you go draft. Like, I don't know what they do. And at the same time, I just saw this as well, fellas. Kendall Vildor's been playing well.
Yes. Khalil Dorsey's been playing well.
Dorsey's been getting snaps. Jared Jacobs going to come back. It's like, as much as we may say Jerry's not a corner 2, he's a good corner 3, and he's good to fill in a little bit. If you're going Jerry, Kendall, and Khalil Dorsey as well, shout out, fan of the show as well, Khalil Dorsey.
Yes. So which... it would either be Iffy, Brian Branch, or CD Deuce, who, if you want all your safeties out on the field, one of those guys would have to take the number 2 cornerback spot. I don't know if you can make the case that any of those 3 are the best cornerback at this very moment for the team. They may be the best player or the best football player, but you can't have Aiden Hutchinson play safety.
The best part about all of this with these guys coming back and CJ coming back, think about how many ball hawks you have on this defense now. CJ Gardner-Johnson led the league in interceptions last year and playing in only 11 or 12 games. Kirby Joseph just had 2 interceptions in a game. Iffy Melifonwu went out there and has 3 sacks the last 3 games, and on top of that had the game-winning interception. Brian Branch has 3 interceptions, I believe, on the year, and a pick 6 against Patrick Mahomes. You have all playmakers and all ball hawks back there now, and some of the best in the league. And on top of that, you have one of the best linebackers right now in the game with Alex Anzalone, the way he's been playing. Jack Campbell, first-round pick. And Cam Sutton, who you could say when he's playing at his best, he's one of the best out there as well. They're going to find a way, and just like AG said, man, we're putting the best players on the field one way or another. Think about all those ball hawks. Think about the ball hawks.
How about this? Ever since CD Deuce, go ahead.
What did we say to go win a Super Bowl? What do you have to do? Take the ball away, create turnovers, win the turnover battle. Right now, they're getting in the position to where they're going to be one of the best in the league at it going into the playoffs.
Thanks for getting me hard, JB.
Just throwing that out there.
I think what's happened since CD Deuce has been announced, he's on the prowl coming back. This last game against the Vikings, the safety rooms, Kirby Joseph, Brian Branch, and Iffy were the 3 game changers on defense. Maybe you just need to keep CD Deuce waiting in the wings to motivate those guys. I don't think that's what should happen. But you know what I'm saying? They know CD Deuce is coming. None of those 3 guys want to lose their spot. Kirby Joseph had his best game of the year.
He did. I don't think anyone's going to lose their spot. I think he's going to find a way to involve, get
that's where it's
snaps
on AG.
for everyone. You know, after the
AG make adjustments.
Yeah, and we're going to have to break here. But real quick, do you guys know usually it's Monday, those graphics come out of the percentage of snaps for each player?
Mm-hmm.
I'm interested to see when CJ Gardner-Johnson's fully back. I want to see those graphics. I'm interested. Drop in the chat too what you guys think is going to happen. When we come back, we'll read a couple of those off. Real quick, Woodward and Maine. Make sure you guys do not miss that. That new time slot for that as well this week. Saturday, 8 to 9 a.m. Don't miss out on that. That is our Woodward Sports Alliance Insider Show hosted by Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, our own, and Detroit legend Terry Foster. Uncle T. Foss. That is this Saturday, 8 to 9 a.m. Not Sunday, it will be Tuesday, but this Saturday, 8 to 9 a.m. Don't miss it on the Woodward Sports YouTube channel. Broder?
Don't miss it. Then you can experience the Dispo difference this Christmas season. We'll call it holiday season since Christmas is over. Dispo is giving away a TV and 2 $100 gift cards in store at participating locations throughout December. Nobody does it like the Dispo family, so unwrap the joy of Dispo Dispensary every week. See the store for more details. Dispo Dispensary, disposhops.com, your local cannabis plug.
Come to any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience from one of our talented stylists and register for a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to win an all-expenses-paid suite for the 2024 NCAA tournament for you and 5 of your best buds. That's right, college basketball's most elite event. You and your 5 best friends just get to any Lady Jane's today for an award-winning haircut experience and automatically register to win the trip of your dreams. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
Join Woodward Sports' own Jeff Iafrate along with special WSN guests for the most anticipated Lions season in decades. Filled with different surprises and expert analysis. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m. Now, coming to Woodward Sports, Woodward and Main Street, the Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions show. Let's go! Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com.
Drafting is a complicated business in professional sports. Napoleon Harris over Ed Reed?
What?
Fabian Washington over Aaron Rodgers. How about this one? Mike Williams over DeMarcus Ware.
Stop it.
Swear. Let me help you out. Jack Labrador should be your #1 overall pick this year. They got 1 deck, 3 games, less than $20. Fun for the entire family. You'll love your Jack Labrador pick more than you love Sheila Hamp. That's nearly impossible. Draft like Brad Holmes drafted JackLabrador.com or scan the QR code above.
Nick loves Sheila Hamp.
He does.
Yes, sir.
Except he denied a hug from her. All right, welcome back in Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder on the Woodward Sports Network. Appreciate you guys. Hit that like button. We're at 75 now. Let's get up to 100 here before the end of this segment. When we get to 9 o'clock, let's get to 100 likes here. Let's keep this ball rolling here. Flip sides of the ball, Broder. Completely turn it. And you know what's cool too? I want to just throw this out there. Again, the Lions are NFC North champions for the first time in 30 years. First time ever NFC North. I can't stop saying it's crazy.
Touch me, kiss me, tis me.
I feel bad
me.
we have to move on from talking about it and talk about Dallas.
What?
Rolls off the tongue.
NFC North champions, NFC North title.
NFC North title.
First time in 30 years.
First time ever too. Technically. All right, let's do this. Jared Goff. Let's talk about it. This offense going into Dallas. Big moment, I think, kind of for this team. Going into Dallas, a team that, Dallas Cowboys are averaging 40 points per game at home. So this team's going to have to lock in. I want to throw up two real quick. I did this graphic, not the video, but the graphic. The Lions, yes, that. KG, you're elite, man. Let's go. If you guys see this here, I saw this the other day. And I sent it to you, actually, Broder, right away.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, look at this. So it says, among all NFL quarterbacks through Week 16, Lions quarterback Jared Goff ranks first in passing first downs, second in completions, third in passing yards, tied for third in passing touchdowns, tied for third in 20-yard passes, fifth in completion percentage, and sixth in quarterback rating. Now,
wow.
I'm going to go to you because a lot of haters for Jared Goff. Whether it's like the duck stuff, like, oh, they just throws ducks. Like, I don't want to get in it, like, throw shots at anyone, but you know what I'm talking about. Like, the ducks, he's a bad passer. Like, he can't do this. He's not great. I said this on the pregame show. I said this on the postgame show on Sunday. At the end of the day, what is the best quarterback stat? What is the one thing you want your quarterback to do?
Dubs.
Win games. Win football games. I don't care how you do it. I don't care if you need a team around you because you can figure that out. Look at San Francisco.
Yeah.
Just win football games, and he's doing it and putting up the stats on it. There's been this narrative that's been written about him. The only bad thing about Jared Goff is that sometimes I was thinking about this today. I was sitting at work. I have a little Nerf football, and I was throwing it up in the air and catching it, and I was like, the only thing that Jared Goff that people hate about him is that he throws ducks. He throws bad passes, but those ducks are third in the NFL in passing yards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, at the end of the day,
it's irrelevant.
Yeah, and like at the end of the day, he's like, how many games has he won in Detroit the last 2 years? The most ever in a 2-year span ever in Lions history. He just won you the first NFC North championship ever.
25 straight games without back-to-back losses.
Yes, the first division in 30 years. He has a chance this week on Saturday. I don't think people realize this. He has a chance, and the Detroit Lions have a chance to tie the franchise record for wins on Saturday. If they win, that is the most wins tied. There's only one other team in franchise history that's gotten to 12. And if they win this game and then win next week, they break the franchise record for wins in a season. Jared Goff, as your quarterback, is doing that and putting top 5 stats up.
Yeah. It's the quarterback. It's about how
these are all facts, and I'm not trying to be like Neil Rule or anything, but like I break it down kind of like him to where it's like those are all facts.
Yeah,
like we can complain and be mad all like we're just like putting facts in front of you.
Yeah,
you win football games and put stats up.
Quarterback still has to execute. They still, regardless of what's around them. Yes, it's easier for a quarterback if you have a great offensive line, if you have weapons around you, if you have the best running back duo in the league. That doesn't mean every quarterback can do it. That doesn't mean any other quarterback on our roster could do it, including Teddy Bridgewater. Jared Goff, what he's done in Detroit has been special. Hasn't been perfect all 3 years, but what he's done in Detroit is special. We just won the NFC North title, and he's the quarterback. He's the one who leads the team. The most important position in sports, is that what people say? And that's what he's done, regardless of his ducks, or regardless if he doesn't have the Josh Allen arm. He's done what it needs to be done with this team. His team is built, I don't know if it's built around him or if he's been improved to be successful around them, but they're all on the same page. Sam Laporta is having a historic year. Amon-Ra St. Brown is having a historic start to his career. This is all done with Jared Goff, the quarterback.
And I don't want people to misinterpret you. It's not because of, all because of him, but he's doing it with them.
It's partially because if the offensive line is there, he has time. But also, like in the Minnesota Vikings game, what was it, 22 of 26 when he was blitzed? That's where Jared Goff struggled against the Ravens. That's where he struggled earlier in the season, even last year. But he got over. He learned from that, and he executed against the Vikings when they needed him the most.
And shout out Easy to tuning in here. He said, he's good for sure. I'm just not blowing him and pretending it's all him. And I don't think any of us are either. I don't think it's all him at all.
We never have.
No.
That's why we shouldn't even give him time.
No, well, with this too, I'm going to give him time because I'm going to bring up a point that I think that he does make that is usually correct with him is, yes, he is not the full reason why. Like, he is not Patrick Mahomes. He's not Josh Allen. He's not any of those dudes. He won't be. Maybe Hendon Hooker could be, but we don't know for sure. And he could easily be a bust just as much as he could be Patrick Mahomes. But with Jared Goff, the thing with Easy, and he always goes back to, is the contract, right?
That's a completely different completely different question.
That's the hate, though. That's where the hate goes. And I'm going to take you here real quick because now we know outside of everything, we know he can put the stats up. We know he can win games. Those are the two things you want your quarterback and your franchise leader to do. He can do those. Everything else is out the window. Now, all it comes down to with Jared Goff, and it is a different conversation. All it is now, it's the future for it is just contract. That is all it is at this point, in my opinion. Like, all that matters right now, not now, but in the future for him, is a contract. And I looked at contracts, franchise tags, all of that. A lot of people were under the assumption that a franchise tag would be $50+ million. That's false. Franchise tag, when it comes to Jared Goff in a year or two, is going to be around $36 million, which at that time, if you franchise tag Jared Goff, it will be the 13th highest cap hit in the NFL, which you're perfectly fine with. So I know there was a narrative out there, people saying that it was going to be a $50 million Wrong. It's going to be about $36 million when it comes time for that, and it's going to be about a 12% cap hit, which is what you want your quarterback around. One last thing, and Nick, I'll come to you in a second. I have a couple things.
Sounds like a great number. Just responding to that.
It's a great number, and a lot of people didn't realize it. Even myself, I didn't realize that too because I thought it was around 50, and then I started doing research, realized it was a lot lower. On top of that, Mike Payton, I don't know where he's.
A to Z Sports.
A to Z Sports. I saw an article today from him, and he put out there. He was like, he basically said, I think Jared Goff's going to get $50 million, but it's not a bad $50 million because if you do break down contracts, that's not going to be a $50 million cap hit. He's going to get paid $50 a year, averaging out. Look at Lamar this year, the example he used. Lamar's cap hit, he's about $50 million, or not cap hit, salary's about $50 million this year. Cap hit, in the 20s.
Well, if we're transitioning to the contract conversation, which is completely different for the record of how we started.
No, that's why, and I think it is different, but I'm saying this.
No, it is
I think
100%.
The playing on the field, and I think the winning football games, that is what people right now are talking about. That's out of this conversation because Jared Goff has proven he can do both of those things. And if you want to come to me and say that he's not, you're lying to me, and it's a false argument. Because he has proven he can win football games, and he has proven he can put the stats up because he's top 5 in the NFL in almost every quarterback category. So if you want to come to me with ducks, passing, all of this, turnovers, all of that, turn the other way and go the other way because you're dead wrong. Like, you were wrong. There's nothing with it. That conversation's out the door. He has proven he can play. He's proven he can win football games. That's why I'm sorry, but that's where I'm at with it.
The problem.
It's just a fact now.
You were right. He and people have made a lot of good points about Jared Goff. That's not the problem. The problem is how they come at it. Like, have we been blowing Jared Goff?
No.
So that's the problem I have. That's the problem I have. We're just talking about what our quarterback is doing, and it gets misconstrued as blowing him. So get the fuck out of our chat.
No, he can stay in the chat. That's fine. Don't get worked up at all. Don't get worked up. Don't get worked up.
Another thing I wanted to hit on is what quarterback is not gonna crumble with a horrible interior offensive line. When you're getting pressure up the gut, you're not going to look as good. And when he's had that healthy O-line, Booner, you just put up a big reason why he's top 5 in almost every single category.
Has the team around him.
And everybody wants him to be guys like Josh Allen, guys like Patrick Mahomes. We say it for everything else about Jared Goff. Those guys have a Travis Kelce. They had a Tyreek Hill earlier in their career. Josh Allen, he has a Stephon Diggs. All these guys have things that are going their direction. If you take them away, they're not the same quarterback. So I absolutely love Jared Goff and what he's looked like in this offense. And I have full belief of him going forward into the playoffs. And he already just won the division. So let's go.
That little stretch of football where he had all those turnovers, I get that sucked. Every quarterback this year, if you go look at every quarterback, has had that stretch. Brock Purdy, look, he just threw 4 interceptions. Look what he did in that 3-game stretch where they lost. He threw an interception in the fourth quarter every single game. Guys have Josh Allen's the most turnover-prone quarterback in the NFL. Guys are going to throw interceptions. Yes, they lost games when he was throwing interceptions. They didn't have a healthy offense. It's very obvious that you need pieces around him. I don't think that's it. And I think if you paid him Mike Payton, I think it is that said that.
Here's the thing.
$50 million will be $50 million, but if you find a way to take the cap hit down to 25, 30, and you can roll with that and pay later on the contract, or you can find a way out later in the contract, or if you can pay incentives or signing bonuses, there are ways with it. But the fact is Jared Goff is winning you football games. He is the heart of this team right now. He is the main leader of this team. He is the guy that when you put the team around him, he will take you to that promised land, and he has shown it. And I think at this point it's time to move on because he does turn the ball over at times. But you could still win with that.
At times, but also for the majority of the time, he sets historic records as he's now the third quarterback of least interceptions and attempted passes. Here's the thing. Jared Goff has earned a $50 million contract in the NFL. That doesn't mean a $50 million contract is best for him and the Lions if he gets that in Detroit. It all depends on how Brad Holmes works the salary cap, but just without even digging into it too much, I don't know if he can make $50 million and they can continue to build the team around him, continue to pay that offensive line, continue to have an elite duo, continue to have weapons around him, and build a defense. I don't think you can do it at $50 million, but he's earned $50 million.
Finagle the contract, you can do it. And I think they will do that.
What are we talking about?
That's what I was going to say. Most people don't think about after that first year of the new contract, they can probably restructure. So
every year, Tom Brady did that his whole career. Cody Ingle in the chat, too. Shout out to Woodward Sports chat. He said it's easier to win with a good quarterback than roll the dice finding a great quarterback. I'm with him on that, too. It's maybe Hendon Hooker can be that guy. We'll find out. And I trust Brad Holmes to where if Brad Holmes thinks that and they move on from Jared Goff, full-heartedly trust Brad Holmes. But look how hard it is to find those quarterbacks. Majority of the time, quarterbacks aren't that elite. There's 5 or 6 elite quarterbacks in the NFL, and then there's the good ones. Jared Goff's the good ones. The chance of getting one of those 5 great ones, especially outside of the first round, that's tough, man. I would like to continue winning and keep winning NFC North. All right, let's hit a break. When we come back, when we come back, I want to play the Ben Johnson thing, and then we'll get into our overreaction Wednesday. No, not used to that yet. Broder, tell us about.
Nope, you got to tell us about Hamlin Pub.
Hamlin Pub, one of the best wings in the state of Michigan. Have you ever wanted a bar where you are a regular? We have just the place for you. That is Hamlin Pub. Head over to one of their 7 locations and experience where everyone is a regular. They have half-off pizza on Thursdays or game day specials available during all Michigan sports and NFL games. Hamlin Pub is the place to be. And with those wings, again, best in the state. Had them before the last Michigan game.
So good.
Maybe we'll, hopefully, I don't know. I haven't heard anything about the game this week, but I would have loved to go to Hamlin Pub for that. Visit a location today and experience your new favorite pub for all things sports.
Join Woodward Sports' own Jeff Iafrate, along with special WSN guests for the most anticipated Lions season in decades. Filled with different surprises and expert analysis. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m. Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.
We've just received word. The world's cannabis supply has vanished. The public is outraged and has taken to the streets in response to this tragedy. The individual responsible acted alone, and we can only hope they will make things right soon.
Do you have football on the brain?
Yes,
Fall
I
ushers
do.
in college and professional football, and this year is going to be awesome. Fall is also the time to shop your home and auto insurance, so shop it like a pro with Swiss Insurance. They cover Woodward Sports Network, and they should be covering you too. So ask for Market Swiss Insurance today at swissins.com or call 248-800-4177.
All right, welcome back to Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder on the Woodward Sports Network, woodwardsports.com. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Hey, great show so far today. Everyone in the chat, you guys are all killing it. We appreciate you guys here, all the comments you guys are making. If you guys haven't yet, everyone right now, if you're watching the show, hit that like button. Let's get up over 100 here before the end of this here. I wanted to, before we do our overreaction stuff, last segment that we didn't get to with the Jared Goff stuff, the offense. I don't know if you guys kind of noticed, Ben Johnson, though, like at the end of that last game, a big thing that was going on during the last game with Jared Goff. I don't know if people thought it was Jared Goff or what it was, but there was all those delay of game penalties. And Ben Johnson today kind of came out and was like, hey, it's on me. I was given the calls in very late, and it was obvious. I felt like that was what was going on. Was Ben Johnson was just getting calls in late, and you could feel that a little bit because the way it was happening, it was just like by the time they got up to the ball, there was 5 seconds, and it was like, oh, adjustments. But Ben did talk today about kind of making those adjustments, being perfect as well, because I think that's a big thing. Like we talk about Jared Goff kind of being a great quarterback. This whole team, this offense, all they're focused on is just getting better and better. That's why I love this team so much. So here's Ben Johnson on just being perfect and moving on to this Dallas game and just getting better and better and better.
What a big game. What a big win to seal the division like we did. And you still go to the locker room, and I'm over here still thinking about, man, I wanted to finish the game with the football. You know, I really want to seal it out that way. And so I'm kind of kicking myself. Like I said, the delay games, those are the play callers got to get the play in faster, and the guys will make it right. That's the bottom line. I know Jared said it's everyone involved, but that's on me. I got to fix that, and I will going forward. But yeah, those things happen. But it is hard to win in this league, so I always keep that in the back of my head, even when things don't go exactly as planned, and particularly in this organization, this city, where it's been a long time coming to win a division. So. very happy for that. But just like Coach said, we're not complacent. I mean, he made that loud and clear early this week that our focus is now shifting, and I think our guys are responding the right way.
Talk about accountability right there. That's when it spreads from the top of the organization down. You said Jared Goff, he took responsibility, or he didn't put the blame on anybody. Ben Johnson came right out and said, hey, that's on me. I got to get better. And to realize that's how you do get better, recognizing where your mistakes were made. Now he can go in and fix them. And Ben Johnson is going to go fix his mistakes because he's got a lot on the line, too.
Yeah, I wanted to make sure we snuck that in after that offensive segment. We didn't have time on that one, last segment, so I wanted to throw that in just because – I mean, it shows what this team's about, man. Like Ben Johnson, he wants to be perfect. Like that's why he's the best head coaching candidate right now on the market. Mm-hmm. It's because of things like that. It's like, man,
he knows
I
how
need
to communicate.
Be perfect.
He's so smart, but he knows how to communicate complex things, complex schemes, complex football ideas to a team, not just a quarterback, but to a team. He's got to teach that entire team and coaching staff. That's not easy to do, especially when you get more and more complicated in your offense. As the NFL, continues to adapt to the times, offenses are getting crazy. I mean, you look at what Miami's doing with Tyreek Hill, and it's getting wild, and it's fun. It's fun, but it's not easy. It's not Madden where you can pick a play and the guys go to the exact right spots. You got to teach them. And the Ben Johnson offense, it relies on a lot of reads, a lot of wide receivers starting your route, not knowing which direction you're going to go until you read the defense, and you got to be on the same page as your quarterback and the other receivers around you. It's complicated, and that's what makes him so special.
I just remembered this. I want to see if we had it in here. The Amon-Ra St. Brown video.
Yes.
Let's just keep this going real quick.
Yeah.
And we'll just push every segment back.
I love this video.
Yes, because the video, you got this last week, or it was before this last game.
Yeah.
And this was like with this offense. And I saw a couple of people in the chat when we were talking about Jared Goff actually talking about he can at times actually throw a bullet in there if he wanted to.
Yeah.
There's sometimes he does have ducks, which are sometimes picked off. But you specifically – and we haven't played it on our show yet, so I want to do it today. You specifically asked Amon-Ra St. Brown about Jared Goff, about his passes, what he's like to play with, what is kind of like how good of a quarterback is he actually? And I know people are like, oh, well, he can't say something bad about his quarterback. Just listen to the response here, because Amon-Ra St. Brown.
It's a very honest, very, very specific things that he calls out. And this is on the spot. He's thinking, talking about Jared Goff and what it's like being a receiver with him. If you could play that, KG, that'd be fantastic.
As a wide receiver, what are some of the things that Jared Goff, or that you value about Jared Goff that doesn't show up in a stat sheet, like accuracy, ball placement, or even like his leadership abilities? What are some of those things that you value as a wide receiver?
Yeah, obviously, I think you said it, early on. His accuracy, I think, is one of the best in this league. So he's accurate. I think he throws a catchable ball, and it's hard to explain as a receiver. Some quarterbacks, maybe, you're running I'm wide open and they throw it really hard when, obviously we're supposed to catch any ball that's coming our way, but maybe throwing it softer because he can in that situation, things like that I, as a receiver, that we really, love, because, you don't always have to throw it a million miles an hour. You can throw it softer, we're still going to catch it, and it makes it easier for us to run after catch with those type balls. So things like that. His ability to never get too high or too low in the game, whether it's going really well or not going well at all, he's always kind of even keel, which is something that I respect as a player, with all the emotion, that are going through the game. There's just so many things, but he's been killing it for us. We're glad to have him, and let's keep going.
There we go. It's accuracy, ball placement, and knowing when to put a little extra on, when to take a little bit off. Like that.
He's a vet.
That, especially in this offense, and he doesn't have a Josh Allen or a Patrick Mahomes arm, but how many bombs are you going to throw per game? Like, yes, that is an asset to have, but this offense is run between 0 and 20 yards, and he is elite at everything between 0 and 20 yards. And Amon-Ra St. Brown, he told you, like it's a very catchable ball. That's a very specific response.
I do think there's still the argument on the out, like throwing it deep. Like I still think if he does get a clean pocket and gets the back foot and he can launch it.
Oh, yeah.
I still think he can, but there is still that he can't do it under pressure. And I see people in the chat saying that, like, ask J-Mo that, and different things like I get that. I think there's a weakness to everyone's game. Josh Allen, his weakness is that man doesn't know where to, like, he loves to throw to the defense. Like there are weaknesses for every player. Jared Goff, I think, is very, very well known. His one of his small weaknesses is the deep ball. But he still can do it, though.
When he hits it is when he's rolling out and he gets his back foot behind.
And he's
like,
able
he
to
needs
get
that
everything
time.
behind it. If
that's
he
when he
can't,
throws a dot to Khalif Raymond or
last year to DJ Chark. But,
yeah.
but if he can't do that, that's the issue, which other quarterbacks can do. And I do think like there's like pros and cons to having, like every quarterback has its pros and cons besides maybe Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
So like
I would rather take accuracy over the ability to throw it 70 yards.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like
I agree.
The football game is played. You know what I'm saying?
I do. I just think he's done a good job. I think this offense as a whole, they have found a way to be like this is the second year in a row. This is the craziest thing too. I don't think people really give enough credit. Like this is the second year in a row that they have a top 5 offense. Like in a league to where the best teams in the league that win Super Bowls, you have to have a great offense. Defense kind of has taken a back seat to that. It's become an offensive league, and you've had a top 5 offense for back-to-back years. Like, that's incredible to me. And I know a lot of it's Ben Johnson. I'm very interested to see next year if Ben Johnson's gone, what happens. I think that's a good – we will talk about that in the offseason. Great conversation to have. But as of now, as they're kind of making this playoff push and a shot at the 2 seed, this team gets very, very scary. Like, extremely scary because they have such a good offense. The defense, to me, always just falls in place. I gave out the last 5 Super Bowl winners. They all are outside the top 10 in defenses. Not one defense as a Super Bowl winner the last 5 years has been a top 10 defense in the regular season. So I'm more focused on that. All right, let's hit a break. When we come back, remember that what I just said there about the offense being top 5 and making a playoff run. Don't forget that because we have Overreaction Wednesday coming up next. What do we have here next, fellas? Planet Fitness.
Yes, sir.
Planet Fitness, let me tell you about it. It is the home of the judgment-free zone where anyone, and we mean anyone, can feel comfortable and work on their fitness goals. Over at Planet Fitness, you will experience squeaky clean gyms that has tons of equipment, full body workouts in just 30 minutes, and all of those memberships include fitness training. Get all of that for just $10 a month, no commitment. No matter where you are, there's a Planet Fitness close by. There are more than 50 in the Metro Detroit area and thousands more throughout the world. That is Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
Your home is your most important asset. Flexibility in the sales process is key. When you work with Mark White and Associates, you can cancel at any time, for any reason, without penalty. Speaking of flexibility, check this out. Who you work with matters. Hire the best broker in the game.
How would you like to win not one, but 2 vehicles of your choice? One for you and one for your wife, your girlfriend, or your best bud. Get to Lady Jane's today for an award-winning haircut and automatically enter for your chance to win. Courtesy of Les Stanford Buick GMC of Ferndale. Lady Jane's, open 7 days a week, walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome. Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, 2 of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune in to the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder.
Savor the heart of home at Big Boy with our all-new down-home comfort dishes. Feast on home-style goodness with our Southern Comfort Chicken Bowl, veal parmigiana, and apple pie hotcakes. The down-home delight doesn't stop there. Potato pancakes are back. Dive into the richness of our perfectly crafted potatoes with our classic potato pancakes and our stuffed potato pancakes. Top off your meal with our new gingerbread shake, a seamless blend of creamy vanilla and sweet gingerbread flavors. Nothing beats the comforting taste of down-home cooking. Enjoy every bite, only at Big Boy.
Give your pet the best. That means going to Premier Pet Supply because they're hands down Michigan's best pet store. Same prices and all the convenience of the online and big box retailers with one major difference. They're family and locally owned and operated for over 30 years. How about that? Over 60 brands of food with nutrition experts to help you. Same day, local, curbside, and home delivery. Premier Pet Supply. Give your pet the best. www.premierpetsupply.com.
All right, welcome back. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder on the Woodward Sports Network. Appreciate you guys tuning in here. Big show. Yesterday was huge. Today feels like a big show as well. Detroit Lions are NFC North champions for the first time ever. First time division in 30 years.
Numero uno.
Numero uno.
Yep.
Love it. If you guys could for us, hit that like button as well. Let's get to 125 here by the end of this segment. We're getting into this, Broder. Overreaction Wednesday.
Love it.
I'm excited. There's some good
Hump
ones
day.
here. We talked about them before the show. I'm pumped. I'll let you go first. I'll let you hit yours first.
All right.
Let's hear it. What do you have?
The Lions, Detroit Lions, will get the number 2 seed in the NFC.
Okay.
Overreaction or underreaction? Or just right?
I think it happens.
Just saying.
I think it happens. I think they win out and get this.
Debate.
All they have to do is go 2-0 to finish the year.
Against the Cowboys at home, who have won 15 straight, and then against Minnesota at Ford Field.
When you say it that way, the Cowboys have won 15 straight, it scares me a little bit.
That's the way the Lions are playing. It seems like, of course, they could win 2 in a row. The Cowboys, and looking at how the Cowboys just played,
lost 2 in a row.
Yeah, they've just lost 2 in a row. But again, it's they're a completely different team at AT&T Stadium.
I don't think it's an overreaction at all.
No,
I think that's spot on. I think it happens.
KG.
Underreaction. I think it's very plausible that they do get the 2 seed. All they got to do is win 2 games.
I sense you're over there in that booth thinking a 1 seed's a possibility.
I think so.
Yes!
You already know I think big, man.
I'm with KG. I think the 49ers end up losing again. They looked bad last game, and I think they're going to end up getting caught slipping again, maybe versus the Rams.
If they don't have Trent Williams for one of those games, I don't know what his status is.
If they have half of their offensive line missing, they're going to be. And think about this: the Rams potentially week 18 have to win to get in. If they have to win to get in, or if there's any doubt at all, Rams are going to go out there to play. And the 49ers, and I'm pretty sure they played earlier in the year, and I think the Rams gave them a run for their money.
Yeah.
And that was a full 49ers roster,
That's
too.
Script writers like that. I'd rather them write the script involving the Rams and Lions involving that game than a Ford Field reunion, but we'll get there when we get there.
How crazy is that, though? Like, remember a month ago when the Lions, went on that 6-game stretch going 4-2, and everyone was like, 0 chance to get the 2 seed, 0 chance to get the 1 seed. Mm-hmm. Everything's over. 3 seed, we'll just take that. Hopefully we go win the division. Now it's like all you need to do is go 2-0 and have the 49ers drop 1 game, and you have a first-round bye, and you have home field for the whole playoffs.
Definitely.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, and Don Rivera says no one has talked about how the Lions fans travel. There are so many Lions fans down in Texas. That's a very good point.
Yes.
That's a very good point. I know the Cowboys are going to be holding those tickets closely, a little more close than the old Lambeau Field fans on a Thursday. But I expect those fans to travel too. It's going to be fun.
I'm interested. I'm interested to see how many Lions fans are in the building.
Yes.
I'll go my first one. Kind of goes with yours, getting the 2 seed. We talked about it before the show here, before we went live. I think the Detroit Lions, right now, you can officially put the Detroit Lions as Super Bowl contenders.
Talk to them, Boom.
I don't think it's an overreaction at all. No. I have a list of teams here. Take the Ravens out. I think the Ravens in the AFC are probably the Super Bowl favorite, in my opinion. But when you go down the list here, you have the Ravens. Maybe you could say the 49ers, but I'm going to take the 49ers down after seeing them get exposed. The Detroit Lions, the Miami Dolphins, the Buffalo Bills, the Philadelphia Eagles, the Dallas Cowboys, the San Francisco 49ers. Outside of the Ravens, those 6 teams to me, and KG mentioned it before the show, especially with the 49ers, all of those teams can beat each other any day, any time. And when you have those 6 teams right there, and then 7 with the Ravens, that 7-team group, those are all your Super Bowl contenders. And I think the Detroit Lions right now, when they're playing at their best versus any of those teams, they can win that football game, especially if it's at Ford Field and especially at a neutral site in the Super Bowl. I think there's a chance the Detroit Lions right now officially stamping them Super Bowl contenders for the rest of the year.
Yeah, and that neutral field is a dome too.
You know what that is? That's the official Booner path.
Booner path.
That is the official Booner. Super Bowl is in our sights. We've talked all year about the path, and it is officially go time. It's right in our sights. Playoffs are literally, I thought about this today, 2 weeks away. 2 weeks from this Sunday, or this Saturday, the playoffs officially begin, and your Detroit Lions are fighting for a Super Bowl.
Couldn't say any better. I want to get the boys' opinion. I agree with everything you said.
We'll let Nick
Super
go.
Bowl.
Nick?
Super Bowl? My bad. I thought you were going to
Super Bowl contenders?
Yeah. Are you effing kidding me? But Booner, I am on the path. I already told you I'm on the path. Let's go. We saw what San Fran looked like against the Ravens. The Ravens can do that to a lot of teams. We know that. But to see it actually happen in a real life game, it makes they are not unbeatable. So if they do win the next 2 games, it makes me have more faith in these Lions to be able to go in San Fran in that NFC Championship game and get a W. They are not unbeatable, so we can definitely get to the Super Bowl. KG?
Oh, listen, people. The Lions are Super Bowl contenders. Get with it or get lost. Just straight up, like, they can win any type of game. They've proven all season long that they can win the gritty games. They can win the shootouts. And when you get in the playoffs, it's one and done, man.
Yes.
And one thing that has given me confidence about that is that they're really good on the road. So, yes, they do get that home playoff game, but if they got to go on the road, I feel like they can handle themselves accordingly because of what they've shown us so far this year. They've almost been a better road team than a home team.
Which is crazy to think about it, Dan.
Yeah.
Like the last 2 years, it's been opposite. Do you know what, too? This really gets me going. I said this yesterday about Dan Campbell in that introductory press conference when he became the Detroit Lions head coach. And I can't stop thinking about this when I think of the playoffs and this Lions team being a contender, is when he said, you're going to knock us down, we're going to bite it, we're going to stand up and take a kneecap out. And then you're going to knock us down again, and we're going to take a chunk out of that kneecap. And then you're going to knock us down again, and we're going to take the other kneecap. And you're going to knock us down again, and before you know it, he said, we're going to be the last team standing.
Yeah.
And I think about that. Now that the Detroit Lions are in that Super Bowl contending conversation, all I can think about is Dan Campbell pregame speeches in the playoffs, halftime speeches, postgame speeches, and how great of a coach he's been when it comes to motivating this team to keep their eye just on the right where it's at. And don't get off the Booner path. Stay on it. That's what really I think I think coaching has a lot to do when it gets to the playoffs, and I think Dan Campbell is one of those guys that can motivate his team to go win one.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and guys like C.D. Deuce and the vets,
Yes.
Anzalone, those guys who've been there.
Bruce Irvin, as crazy as that sounds, Bruce Irvin's been in the Super Bowl.
Alu, Tyson, Gulligo Island.
I love that. All right, what's your next one here, Broder? Do you got another one?
No, you got another one about our running back.
Oh, yes, I forgot about this one. Think about this, fellas. As a rookie, the Detroit Lions running back Jahmyr Gibbs will be playing in the Pro Bowl. Jahmyr Gibbs will be a Pro Bowler in his rookie season.
Hell yeah.
Go look at some of the running backs. Tony Pollard, who's ahead of him in rushing yards, but total yards, Jahmyr Gibbs. 9 touchdowns as a rookie. I think he's past Bijan. And when you want to start looking at Pro Bowl and start looking at players and running backs that kind of get in, there's going to be some, unless the Lions are in the Super Bowl like we just talked about, there's going to be some running backs that are taken out of it because of the Super Bowl. Jahmyr Gibbs, maybe, or even if it's a reserve, he will be playing in the Pro Bowl, and he will be there with some other guys like Jared Goff, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Sam Laporta, Penei Sewell. He will be there.
Frank Ragnow. Graham Glasgow.
I don't know about that, but
Hutch.
Taylor Decker.
Hutch.
This is Pro Bowl.
Wow, you guys. So the whole offensive line's going to you guys.
They should. All 5 should go to the Pro. Not all Pro, but they should go. 3 of them, actually 2 of them should be all pros.
Two should be no matter what.
Yeah, I got a lot of shit for saying Frank should go to the Pro Bowl last week.
No, that was all pro. No,
all pro. Yeah.
No, it wasn't that you caught a lot. It was that I think Frank is right there at the center because there are some great centers.
Yes.
But Pro Bowl, I think yes, he's allowed.
Oh yeah, has to be. Not an overreaction.
Not an overreaction. I think he does it.
Underreaction.
He still has 2 weeks to put the numbers up too.
Underreaction.
Especially if you're working in the reserve, like guaranteed.
Yeah.
Gotta be. I mean, who's better?
CMC, only one in my eyes that I would have over Jahmyr Gibbs right now.
I think David Montgomery.
I would take over him.
Montgomery should be in the Pro Bowl.
Yeah.
They both should be in the Pro Bowl.
That'd be running backs. So right now,
should.
Rush over in the NFC. Players that have more rushing yards than them is Christian McCaffrey, Kyron Williams, who also has 9. I think he gets it. And then keep going. DeAndre Swift has more rushing yards. I don't know about total yards, but Jahmyr Gibbs has more touchdowns.
Highest yards.
Tony Pollard, take him out.
Highest yards per attempt, too, in the whole entire league.
Yes.
Jahmyr Gibbs.
So I do think Jahmyr gets it over David, to be honest.
Yeah.
The way he's been playing.
I think they both should. I think with Dallas and Minnesota coming up next, they got a chance to just keep piling on those stats.
Yes. Did you want to do your last one?
No.
You don't want to do it?
No.
Do it.
No, we're good. We got another. You want to do your 49ers one? No, I don't want to. You guys can do it.
We covered that though.
I love Broder, bro.
No, the Lions equal to 40. There's not much difference between them.
Yeah, well, I had said that the Lions and the 49ers are on the same playing field. They're equal teams.
Not an overreaction. I like that.
Yeah, no, and when you said that too, KG, I mentioned it's like maybe with players and like the depth that they have, like maybe they are a better team, but you just saw them get exposed by the Ravens.
Yeah.
Like you just saw what happened to the Lions when that was like the Lions' downfall, where people were like, what happened to the Ravens? That just happened to the 49ers.
I take the 49ers defense over the Lions defense. I'll take the Lions offense over the 49ers offense.
Yeah.
And I say that 100%
like
seriously. And the 49ers offense is good, but I don't see a more balanced, deep offense in the entire league than the Lions.
Yeah.
Like they might not end up number 1, but they're top 5 still, right? Like I'll take what they have. I think they can win on offense multiple ways.
I don't think it's crazy. Like I think if the Lions and 49ers play, I think the Lions, like even if it's at Ford Field, I think the Lions could they have a shot at winning the football game.
Yeah.
And I don't think the spread would be that much either. So like I truly think that I'm with you, KG. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that one. All right, let's take a break and come back. We'll do our NFL power rankings. You guys can start putting in the chat too who you think is power rankings. Where did the Lions land on yours? Start to kind of guess where we have them. If you saw mine last week, you probably know where they'll be on at mine. But let me tell you about Guardian Alarm first.
No, Feldman.
I'll tell you about Feldman. Since 1996, Feldman Automotive has been driven to provide a fast, convenient, first-class car buying experience called the Feldman Advantage. They got 18 locations, so there's a Feldman dealership in your backyard somewhere. Visit feldmanauto.com to find the location nearest you and check out Woodward Sports, Morning Wood, and Big D Energy there every other Monday at their Novi location.
Heyo.
Feldman Chevrolet, Detroit's #1 Chevy dealer. Booner.
Let's talk about some defense. Sorry, Nick, you jumped over there. I think I got you. Customized solutions from real expert. It is Guardian Alarm. Our professional technicians, they take the time to recommend security and automation solutions that are specific to your needs. They have 24/7 professional monitoring. You can also give them a call anytime, day or night, and know that a Guardian Alarm team member will stay on the phone as long as needed. That is technology backed by people, where your safety and security deserve technology that has been proven to work and people who have been proven to care. If you want a great defense, right there, that number above there. If you want to be like Ife Melifonwu, give that number a call. That is 1-800-STAY-OUT.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
Calling all landscapers. This is Darren McCarty. I'm at Outdoor Equipment Co. How would you like to landscape like a legend? How about a bad boy zero turn? And even a chainsaw. And even a weed whipper. Whether you landscape for your job or landscape for fun, get all your equipment from Outdoor Equip Co., the official equipment provider of Woodward Sports. Michigan grown, family owned. OutdoorEquipCo.com.
Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.
For over 60 years, Fairway Packing has provided Michigan's finest restaurants, hotels, and casinos with prime beef, Wagyu beef, and dry-aged beef. Experience the Fairway difference for yourself today. Visit the steak shop in Grosse Pointe Woods for grab-and-go steaks or order online at fairwaypacking.com.
All right, welcome back. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder on the Woodward Sports Network.
Let's go.
WoodwardSports.com, whatever you're watching on. Hit that like button for us. Do we know where we're at, fellas?
We are at 119.
We're that close to 150. We get to 150. We have to average 150 the rest of the week, and we will have a free parlay that we'll give to a listener. How far is that away? Matt, quick math.
30. We're at
31
120 now.
We're at 121? All right. Or we're at 120? All right, 30 more likes, and that will keep us on track for the week. Appreciate you guys tuning in. We're going to get into our NFL Power Rankings weekly. Usually we do those on Tuesday. Pushed back a night just because of Christmas.
We had a lot to talk about yesterday.
Yes, we had to talk about that yesterday. Broder, do you want to go first with yours, or do you want me to go first?
You go first. Let's react to yours first.
All right, getting the graphic one second.
And I want people real quick in the chat, start before KG puts the graphic up, start dropping where you think the Detroit Lions should be on your list. I don't want you guys to see ours first. I want to see where you guys think the Detroit Lions should be in the NFL Power Rankings. So here's mine right now.
Oh, I thought you said Broder.
Oh,
Broder. Good. Hit it, Broder.
There they are. They're number 4.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wait a second.
Actually, how about this?
The bottom of that.
What do you notice first? Instead of me just presenting this, what do you notice?
The Kansas City Chiefs are outside of the top 10.
Wow.
Wow. That is shocking.
Is that outrageous?
No, you guys will see my list. I mean, you're not far off my list, to be honest.
I've spent the entire season giving them the benefit of the doubt because of their past, because of Mahomes and Reed and Kelsey, and I that's okay, but I couldn't do it again.
They're not far off where you have it on my list.
So a lot of online. They're in the 7, 8, 9, 10 range. The way Tampa Bay played last week, the way the Rams have been playing, Cleveland, like they just deserve to be in my point.
Do you know what I'm really interested to see? KG, are you doing the morning show tomorrow?
Yeah.
I'm interested to see where Flannel has the Chiefs.
That's true.
We know Flannel's a Chiefs guy.
Are they doing it tomorrow?
I believe so. I'm in their group chat, and I saw Jeff ask for top 10s. I didn't see what his was. I'm interested to see where Flannel has them.
He ain't making any excuses for the Chiefs today, though.
He didn't? Yeah, you can't. I mean, they've been bad.
Yeah.
Like, bad. So, Broder, here. Break this
fuck?
baby down.
There it is. Rams at 10, Bucks at 9, and then Cleveland Browns. Joe Flacco's doing everything you could ask for any quarterback to do.
Yep.
He's the best quarterback they've had in Cleveland in the last 2. When did Deshaun Watson get there? In the last 3 years. Deshaun Watson's an absolute joke show. Buffalo Bills. I saw a lot of power rankings, them up way higher than this, but I'm at 7. They're playing great. Buffalo Bills have the potential to be the number 1 team in the league. I just don't. I don't trust them yet. Eagles at number 6. They're still at 11-4. They have not looked well recently, but I got them at 6. And here's where it gets fun. This is Dallas Cowboys at 10-5, at number 5, just behind the Detroit Lions. So the Detroit Lions, I think, are the better team going into Jerry's World this weekend to play them. I got the Miami Dolphins, who beat the Dallas Cowboys. I know it was home for Miami and it was away for Dallas, so of course Miami's going to win, but it was a close game that Miami figured out a way to win. They dealt with some adversity in that game, and they got through it. That's what I want to see out of Mike McDaniels, out of Tua, out of Tyreek. They've been having to figure out some things. Their running back crew, I really like those two, Mostert and Achane. Then we got the 49ers at number 2. I couldn't put them ahead of the Baltimore Ravens. At number 1, we got Lamar Jackson and the Ravens. What do you think?
I love it. I mean, it's kind of similar to my list, to be honest.
Yeah?
I think we might have 2 or 3 things that are a little different. I don't know. The only thing I don't have Dallas that high, if I'm being honest.
Fair.
Losing 2 straight, I did drop them. It's like the thing to me. It's like the respect factor in the NFL is the Lions lost. They haven't lost 2 straight, but during that stretch where they lost 2 of their 3, everyone was dropping them down to 8 and 9, and they were like almost outside the top. And it was like, to me, it's like that's like where the Cowboys are going right now. It's like they lost 2 straight, and I don't have them very far down, but I dropped them behind a couple teams that you didn't have them on. So.
And one of the teams that was on his list was the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yep.
If the Cowboys go to Tampa in that first round, if they don't win the NFC East, what do you think about that matchup, Broder?
That could, so potentially the Bucs could come to Ford Field in round 2.
Yeah,
as a hypothetical possibility. Yeah,
hypothetical.
I mean,
I would like that.
We look pretty good. The Lions look pretty good in Tampa Bay. That was where. Was that the game we first learned about how outrageous the Lions fans were? Or was Lambeau before that?
It was Lambeau before that. I was actually down there for that, the Sea of Blue.
Actually, Chiefs, too.
Week one, I remember all those videos.
But then Tampa was like, it was
crazy.
A home game away.
Ford Field South.
It was creamsicles and Honolulu Blue,
and our own Nick was in attendance.
Yes.
So that's Broder's list. I'll do mine now here, KG, if you want to throw it up whenever. Like I said, very similar. A couple, like each team is just like 1 or 2 spots off, I think. The difference. I do still had the Kansas City Chiefs sitting there at 10. The only reason I wanted to switch them out for the Bucks, the only reason is in my head, and I'm sure a lot of people probably think the same thing, is in my head, if the Kansas City Chiefs and Tampa Bay Buccaneers played this weekend, I still think the Chiefs win that game.
That's a good way to decide it.
And that was like, I was like sitting there in between, and that was where I went Rams Chiefs as well. And I was like, I think the way the Rams offense has been, I think they would catch the Chiefs. So that's why I put the Rams at number 9. Rams have been looking good, and that offense has been looking really good, actually. So I put the Rams at number 9. I did have the Bucs sitting there in honorable mention as well, if you guys see that there. But I did put the Rams. They beat the Saints, who was the team that was fighting for their division, and beat them. The Browns, similar spot to you. Joe Flacco, shout out. I heard something yesterday that he was like, they interviewed him and they're like how much money have you been making? He was like, I haven't even looked at my bank account. I didn't even know if I got a check yet.
He wants to play ball.
He just wants to play football. This is where we're different though. I moved the Cowboys. I think you had the Cowboys at 5.
Yes.
I moved them behind the Bills and the Eagles.
Yeah, and I have those in the same order too. So
yep, I know the Eagles, they've been struggling a little bit, but they did win. Bills have been hot, and they've been one of the best teams in the league right now when they're playing. We already know what they can do. The Cowboys losing 2 straight, it's that Lions effect. I'm telling you, like, the Lions got disrespected when they lost 2 of the 3 games, and they were still 4-2 in that stretch. People moved them down to 8, 9. I'm going to do the same with the Cowboys. When they're on the road, they're frauds. And it's very known. And we're going to find out Saturday if they're really frauds versus over 5. They don't play over 500 teams. And now they're playing an over 500 team at home. I'm interested to see what happens. Cowboys are at 7 for me. Bills, you guys already know how I feel about Josh Allen. I think they deserve to be top 6 in the NFL right now, the way they've been playing the last 2 or 3 weeks.
I can appreciate it.
The Eagles, I know they lost last week, but I have to put them there. They won. I just literally moved everyone up and put the Cowboys down. Moved the Dolphins up. They beat the Cowboys at 4. And fellas, Detroit, I had them at 3 last week. I can't put them above the Niners, and I can't put them above the Ravens. I kept them at 3. I'm staying true to it. Detroit Lions are a contender in the NFL right now in the whole league. They are Super Bowl contenders. I have them as the 3rd best team in the NFL. And for the first time in like a month or almost 2 months, the 49ers are dropped down to number 2, and the Ravens are the best team in the NFL right now. So I think that's a great.
I like this list.
I think this is like kind of how we moved it a little.
I think I'm giving Broder the edge, but you got to take them damn Bucks out of there, man. You got to put the Chiefs at 9. I feel like, even though they've been sucking it up lately, but I don't believe in Baker Mayfield. But that's just my bias. So
yeah.
Mike Evans been balling, KG though. Mike
Yeah,
Evans is on a different level right now at wideout. He's up there in age, but he's been putting up some
Who
numbers.
would have thought they'd be 8-7 right now? Like,
yeah, not anybody before the season. They thought they would be in
the worst
tanks,
team.
the tanks talk.
Yeah,
and they
I just love what
showed
Rashad
out.
White's been doing. Their defense has been playing well, and I think they have a pretty decent offensive line.
Hey, we're gonna all be their biggest fans when it comes to Week 1
Let's go.
postseason.
That's true. Rooting for Baker and rooting for Matt Stafford. What has come to this world?
After Baker cost us that
Twilight Zone.
Wild.
top 5 pick last year.
Man,
Wild.
that is crazy. I think these are good power ranking list. You guys in the chat, put in there what you guys think, if we had the Lions too high, too low, or if there was anything we need to kind of switch up there, or who had the best list. You can throw that in there as well. Let's hit break. When we come back, let's get into this little Penei Sewell, Micah Parsons thing.
Hey.
And then when we get into mailbag as well, just so you guys know, we're going to announce the winner at the start of mailbag for the Jahmyr Gibbs jersey. It is up on Woodward Sports social media if you guys have not entered. Actually, it's too late to enter. I just picked a winner.
Pick it.
I have one. Kool-Aid sent me one, so I do have it. KG, I'm going to send it to you. We'll announce that at the start of mailbag.
All right.
Mark White, though.
Mark White, if
Tell
you're
us
dreaming
about
of a new home but feeling the financial pinch, Mark White & Associates, your trusted real estate experts, are here to help. Mark White and his team will pay up to $5,000 of your closing costs. That's right. I said $5,000. So call Mark White & Associates today at 248-290-8242 or visit them at markwhitesells.com.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy?
It's Planet Fitness.
Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime.
Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, 2 of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune in to the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles, and with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
Just in time for football. Cannabis is dropping a new ice water bubble hash infused pre-roll called Honolulu Blue. It smells so good, it's like the whiff of the first playoff win in 31 years. It's a gassy, aggressive strain named in the honor of Detroit football. If you haven't had one of these ice water pre-rolls, you are missing out. So smooth. Check them out online at www.canna.com.
All right, we are back. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder on the Woodward Sports Network, woodwardsports.com, all that fun stuff. If you guys haven't yet, hit that like button for us, fellas. Where we at? We almost there? 134. We're 16 away from 150. Let's get to 150 here before the end of this segment. Right now, everyone hit that like button
fans.
if you haven't already. Yeah, Lions fans.
Lions fans.
Let's do this, Broder, because you texted me earlier today, and you came up with a good segment, and we can even talk about this more as we get into kind of Dallas Cowboys prep. But when you texted to me right away, I was like, I didn't even think about this heading into the Cowboys game, but you're going to see one of the best matchups. And a lot of people talk about skill player matchups when it comes to like receivers, corners, safeties, quarterbacks, like different things.
This is big.
In the whole NFL, I think for the whole season, this is one of the bigger matchups of the year.
Yeah.
The best offensive lineman, I mean, it might be a little biased in Detroit, but at least the best offensive tackle in the NFL right now, Penei Sewell, at 23 years old, by the way. Penei Sewell versus he is right now the favorite to win Defensive Player of the Year in all sports books.
Mike Parsons number 1, not number 2?
I believe
behind
he's
Myles
one.
Garrett.
Is Myles Garrett number 1?
I thought it was Garrett, Parsons.
I'm going to check that.
TJ Watt.
Either way, though.
Yes.
A guy that's fighting for Defensive Player of the Year going up against. And I think this is one of those things, fellas, where it's like everyone's like, oh, we're playing Micah Parsons this week. He's been so good. Defensive Player of the Year. No one's really, even national media, hasn't kind of turned the table to go, hey, let's not forget, the Detroit Lions have the best offensive lineman that will be blocking him in the NFL.
Yes, and the best unit overall. Like if he's lining up directly on Penei Sewell, that's just such a fun matchup to watch because Micah Parsons, he's I don't think he's on TJ Watt's level quite yet.
Yeah.
And that might change in the
next 2 games.
It is Myles
Garrett, by the way. My bad.
No, all good.
Hand up on Booner.
He's one of the most
pass it, move forward,
dynamic or versatile defensive ends, edge rushers, outside linebackers, whatever you want to call him. The things he can do, the athleticism that he has, that's what makes him so different. Combining that with the power, it's really. He's a fun guy to watch, despite the fact that he plays with a star on his helmet, and his nickname is a Lion, by the way. Do you know? Like he calls himself the Lion. We got to cook something up involving that.
I know that.
I just gave that out to the public. I hadn't seen anybody say something about him in the line. Anyways,
who was that?
Micah Parsons.
Yeah, that's weird.
He's got gear all over his website. There's only one Lions. It's in Detroit. No, it's just an epic.
Funny.
It's an epic matchup of an offensive lineman and a defensive line.
Yeah.
But when you look at the bigger picture, it's this entire offensive line going against not just the Dallas Cowboys defensive line, but Micah Parsons, who plays all of the positions along the line. It's going to be a big one. That's why it is important that Taylor Decker plays. The communication between those two, how this offensive line bounces off each other and passes Micah off to the other, double teams them chips. Sam Laporta is going to play a huge role in this. It's one I know we're not going to get deep into this conversation today. It's just one I'm really looking forward to.
Do you know what was interesting to me, though? I don't know if you watched that Bills-Cowboys game a couple weeks ago when Josh Allen literally threw for 90 yards, and they dominated them. Like they beat them by, they blew them out. It was like the Ravens 49ers game.
That big a yard?
And he only threw 90 something passing yards. What it was it was James Cook and what they had planned up. And I was thinking this today. I was like, I really hope Ben Johnson, as good as he is, I'm sure he did watch the film on it. But what they did to execute against this defense, and we know right now, I think the Cowboys' rush defense is outside the top 15. I believe it's like 17, maybe almost 20. Like they're not like one of the top in the league. What they did, though, is they took Micah Parsons completely out of the game. And they didn't throw extra blockers at him. They didn't go, let's send 2 guys at him. Let's put a Penei Sewell on him. Let's put our best guy. And they didn't do any of that. All they did was every single play, with Josh Allen, they would see where's Micah Parsons lined up on. Is he lined up on the right side, left side, middle? Where is he at? Let's go opposite of him, and let's not even they left him unblocked all game. They just literally, if he was on the right side, they didn't block him at all, and they said, we're just running complete opposite. You're gonna have to catch him from behind. James Cook's too quick. Jahmyr Gibbs, he's gonna be too quick. You're not gonna catch up to him. Micah Parsons completely left out of the game. He had nothing. I don't know who was on the call there, but they broke it down. It was incredible what they were doing. Like, I've never seen a team do this to a pass rusher. They just said, listen, we're not going to touch you. You can run around all you want. We're going to go as far away from you as if you're on the left side, we're going all the way to the right, and we're dominating the other side of the ball. Detroit Lions and Ben Johnson, you guys have the best offensive line in the NFL, and you have the best running back duo in the NFL. Take a page out of McDermott's book in Buffalo, or what's his name? Who's the guy over there now? Brady. Joe Brady, I believe. Is it Joe Brady?
Yeah, it's Joe Brady.
Joe Brady, yes. Joe Brady's there now. Take a page out of his book. Do what they did and go dominate, because they had no answer for it. Took all the time off the clock and dominated that game.
That one, I believe it was the second touchdown from Gibbs, where Penei Sewell just clears the first guy out. He gets up to the second level, takes out the linebacker, and Gibbs just had all day to run the ball in. I want to see Sewell just dominate like that all game, and especially when they get into the goal line. I want to be running the football at will.
That's all I want them to do.
Exactly. So I think we will be able to, especially following our future Hall of Fame right tackle, Penei Sewell.
Yeah, and then one thing to think about, do you remember hearing Danielle Hunter's name during this last game?
Nope.
They took this game, and I know he's no Micah Parsons, but they completely took Danielle Hunter out of the game. So it's very capable of them being able to stop Michael Parsons from coming in there and getting after golf.
I think they do.
Great point.
And you know what was great? What was the game a couple weeks ago where we all were breaking it down all week, and everyone was like, just run the ball, run the ball, run the ball. Was that Denver? And then what did they do the first possession?
They passed like the first five. Yeah,
I think KG, me and KG, we were sitting here watching it. And we were like, what are they doing? What are they doing? But what it did is it set everything up.
J-Mo.
Like they went to JMO. They forced it to JMO, which is great because it started opening up the whole offense, run game. They let Jared Goff work. The defense was able to get set up and good. I think you're going to see that, and I don't want people to, like, in the first possession of Ben Johnson has like a scripted first possession where it's pass. Don't freak out, because he has a plan, and I believe that, because remember last year the first half, Lions were in that game until that fumble. Like they could have had a chance to win that football game on the road. This team is even better.
Damn Strizzy.
Broder, you have anything else on that? That was your kind of segment there.
I got nothing. Are we giving a little jersey?
When we come back, we have the winner here. It's kind of crazy. It lined up. Kool-Aid sent me the winner. It lines up with the jersey that's given away.
Interesting.
I told it to you guys on the last break. I was like, oh, whoa.
Can a Detroit Lion win the giveaway?
Maybe a Detroit Lion. It might be Jahmyr Gibbs. For all we know, it's Jahmyr Gibbs.
Wins his own sign?
Not signed, no, just jersey. Well, I can sign it if you guys want.
If
you win it and you want me to sign it, I will sign it. We just have to let the people know, or the boss man know. All right, let's hit break. When we come back,
can you do Planet Fitness for me one more time?
Planet Fitness?
Yep.
Oh yeah, baby, let's do it. Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential. It is the home of the judgment-free zone, where anyone, and I mean anyone, can feel comfortable and work on their fitness goals. Over at Planet Fitness, you will experience squeaky clean gyms, tons of equipment, full body workout in just 30 minutes, and all of those memberships, they include fitness training. Get all of that for just $10 a month, no commitment. No matter where you are, there will be a Planet Fitness nearby. There are 50 in the Metro Detroit area, thousands around the world. That is Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.
We've just received word. The world's cannabis supply has vanished. The public is outraged and has taken to the streets in response to this tragedy. The individual responsible acted alone, and we can only hope they will make things right soon.
Outdoor Equipment Company, let's talk about it. It is the official equipment provider of the Woodward Sports Network. They are Michigan grown, family owned. They have everything: bad boy mowers, tractors, steel handhelds, weed whippers, Liberty trailers, Generac generators, snow X-plows, and salters. They literally have it all. You can buy it, you can rent it. They have 0% financing, delivery to your doorstep. You can get all of that right there. Listen, if you need like a snow plow or something for the winter time, snow's coming. It might not be here for Christmas, but it's coming in January and February. Go get a snowplow over at OutdoorEquipCo.com. All right, welcome back to Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder on the Woodward Sports Network, woodwardsports.com. We're 9 likes away from 150. Everyone, right now, hit that like button. There's 180 people in here, so I know there's some people who have not hit it yet.
1 like for every one of Frank Ragnow's toes.
Yes. 9 of them, those things.
Yeah.
9 of them. Let's get to 150 here. Let's do this. Let's give away this jersey. We were giving away a Jameer Gibbs jersey on Woodward Sports. Make sure you guys keep an eye out throughout the weeks. Typically after Lions games, we do that and we do a jersey giveaway. So keep an eye out this Saturday. There might be one, or Sunday we'll throw one up. I have the winner though. It is a Jameer Gibbs jersey. And the winner, Kool-Aid sent it to me. I didn't pick it out. Kool-Aid sent it to me. The winner is a Jameer Gibbs account.
Gibbs season?
Jameer Gibbs season.
That's a buy. Come on, man.
Gibbs. I think it's a real person because that person. I went back to look.
I've seen him.
I went back to look. Yeah, whoever it is, him or her. I went back to look to make sure it was a real person because Kool-Aid sent it to me. I was like, all right, is this a real person?
They got the blue check.
They have the blue check, and they have commented actually on some of my posts the last couple weeks. So I was like, I think definitely a real person. So,
Gibbs season.
Shout out to Gibbs season. Well deserved too. I mean, it's like a Gibbs fan page. Well deserved. There, it's not a signed Gibbs jersey. Maybe that is Jameer Gibbs behind that account.
Like when J-Mo called us as Wayne from North Carolina.
Lorena said rigged. Lorena, to be fair, we've done a couple giveaways, or we've announced a couple on the show here. Every time we've done one, you said rigged. So you're watering down the rigged comment now.
And also, to be honest, in between breaks, when we got the text from Kool-Aid, I was like, random? Question mark? But it was random.
It was random.
This
was
is meant to be.
There's hundreds of people, and that was the one he sent. So
that's why we're not picking them.
We don't pick them. We just get them sent to us, and we make the announcement. Cody Ingalls said it's flannel. Lorena said that's the first time I wrote that, Booner. Lorena, I'm gonna go back to some other show. I'm pretty sure you said rigged before. I can guarantee you.
Scripted.
Mailbag. Tyler Chevet said Lorena saying rigged is rigged. There we go. All right. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Are we at 150 yet, fellas?
We are.
150. Let's go.
We got
3 more days of 150.
2.
And another parlay.
2 more.
Oh, 2. Yeah, it's Wednesday. All right. Mailbag. First one here. Eric Wilson. Top 3 draft picks in order.
Like top 3 Brad Holmes draft picks thus far?
Maybe.
Or predict the first 3 draft picks the next year.
I don't know anyone really for this draft. I haven't. It's the
Caleb Williams, Drake May, and Marvin Harrison in some form.
I was thinking about Lions picks. My bad.
Oh yeah.
Because I was like, I haven't really dove. Like this is weird. We're in December and almost January, and I have not even looked at the draft board yet.
Top available defensive lineman, top available offensive lineman, maybe top available cornerback.
Let's get an offensive lineman and just defense.
Yeah,
I like that.
I'd even trade up for like a top offensive lineman.
Yeah.
I got a feeling that he will. Especially with those 2 third-rounders this season.
He's going to make a move.
He kept that capital for a reason. He's going to make a move with it. Brad Holmes loves to trade draft picks.
Red Wings goal 2-2. I got you, Nate. Shout out to Brinket.
Go. Shout out the chat. Shout out the away fans. Shout out all the boys. Shout out Lorena. Let's go. Who got that one? Who got that one?
DeBrinket. Alex DeBrinket.
The
Shout
cat,
out.
baby. Hey, spam the chat with cats.
Right
Let's
now.
go.
Spam the cat with chats and send a couple mailbag questions. The chat with cats and send some mailbag questions.
And Lions are big cats.
Chef Talks NFL here.
That was hype. Let's go.
Oh, I thought there was another goal. Chef Talks NFL here. Shout out Chef. He said mailbag is the Dallas game the biggest game of the year, and why do you agree with me that it is?
Yeah.
Let me give you a coach answer.
I think it is.
Because it's the next game.
I like that.
But also it does. I mean, winning you can't get the 2 seed without winning this game. So go get it.
What's crazy is that like when you looked at the schedule before the season, you could be like, all right, that Chiefs game, huge game, and then you could probably say the Dallas game was probably the second biggest one in my opinion on the schedule. But as the years gone on, like that Denver game was so big because you just lost and you needed it.
The Chicago comeback.
Even
the Buccaneers game where like it at the time remember it was the Lions had just gotten on a roll.
They were both 4-1.
Yeah, and they shut down the run game, and Jared Goff played well in that game. It was a pass heavy game.
Like, but
I don't know, you can make a case.
As you like progress through the season, like this Vikings game to me became bigger than even the Denver game because it was like it's for the division, and if you lose that, then you have to beat the Cowboys. If you don't beat the Cowboys, then you have to play a game for the division at home week 18. Like you don't want to put so I do think as of right now it is the biggest game, and then once you get past this, then it's week 18 and then the playoffs.
It's definitely the most complete team they face so far. For sure. Besides the Chiefs, I guess.
Well, that Ravens game too, though.
Oh, well, yeah. I always forget about the Ravens games because we got
tried. So it's like that Men in Black thing. You just put the thing in front of you.
Right.
And it's like
just forget that shit.
I don't want to see that again. What else do we have?
The away fan mailbag. What is something in general the NFL can do to improve the product on the field? The away fan finds it very slow. I'm not a fan of how the clock works. Too many penalties as well. It's a really good question. I kind of want to think about it a little bit longer, but it's a good question.
You know what I would like? People hate it. You know what I liked in college football?
What?
Is on first downs when the clock stopped. I loved that too for the over. Like it was like the best thing ever. I like after a first down clock stops for the change to get moved. I know it makes it slower, like faster pace for the NFL, but that's just a rule that like they took away from the college this year. It was the first year not having it. I would like it back.
I got it. I want to see kickoffs. Like I want to see kick returns, I should say, punt return. I grew up in the Dante Hall, Devin Hester, even like
Hester
the days of Eddie Drummond. Eddie Drummond was a pretty damn good return man. But there were some elites. I know the kickoff. That's like. That was the most exciting play in football.
Yes. Hester Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Bears,
you know what?
Cowgirls.
You know what I hate too?
Not Cowgirls, Colts.
You know what I hate now? The new rule that they have now is you can call a fair catch and you automatically get the ball at the 25.
Yeah, that's Whack Arnold's.
Like if they get the ball to the 5, then you don't have to return it. You could just fair catch.
It's not a punt. It's a kickoff, guys. Come on.
It's great. Hey, one more too. I want to get Williams in here. Shout out William. He puts a couple good ones in here. This is kind of a 3-parter here. Say mailbag. Are they going to target DPJ even more? And then also is GJ going to be activated? And then Tyson Alalalu, is he going to be a big factor?
To be determined on the second two. On the first, I don't think a significant amount more. And even Ben Johnson talked about it today. DPJ is just going to be that guy who's reliable. Like a Josh Reynolds, he might have a game where he gets 5 catches and a couple big first downs. But I think a lot of games are going to be like Minnesota and Denver. Denver was before Minnesota, yeah. But in the Minnesota game, 3rd and 8, he makes a huge catch and ends up getting the first down. It was like a 12, 13-yard catch. Jared Goff put it on a dime, and he made a really tough catch in traffic. I think that's where they're going to look for him, at least for the time being. I hope to see more of him at goal line.
They should maybe look for him more in the red zone because he's a big body.
He's a big target. Like, you could throw the ball up to him and let him go get it. They did that in the Browns 2 years ago. He dominated for a whole year. All right, that'll do it. Do you have anything else, brother?
Nope.
All right, that'll do it. Remember, guys, don't forget, the Detroit Lions are the NFC North champions. the NFC North champions.
We're on.
First time ever. Love it. Appreciate you guys all tuning in. As you guys leave, hit that like button for us. Make sure you guys tune in tomorrow morning. Woodward Show, 8 a.m. BDE after that. E&E after that. Heavyweights after that. And we will be back here 8 p.m. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. We appreciate you guys tuning in. We'll see you tomorrow. Love you guys.